Hey, welcome to the show! I'm Wolfie Bane, your host for today, and we are back with a very impromptu character creation for a couple of people for Black Crusade. So for reference, normally we'd be doing Alterra today. Chris, the GM for Alterra, has a bit of a stomach problem at the moment, so unfortunately can't make it. So I went, I can get people to do character creation for Black Crusade, and we can have it for in case we need a one-shot in the future. Kind of time limit or something. And it should be a fun time. We can maybe do it on the Alterra channel or something as well. So, and I'm fine with GMing it, because I've GM'd this game before. I have not actually had a chance to play any of these systems, because I've only had chances to GM them. That's the problem with owning the books. But
yeah.
So the two people we have, if you want to introduce yourselves, you can introduce yourself with Alterra stuff if you like. Because you're both known from Alterra on this channel at least.
Fair enough. I'm Ben. I'm usually play Fuck You, the Immortal Goblin Bard. This week, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
You're fair.
No, very little 40k.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a good way to get introduced, really. And Bob, go.
Hi, Bob. I usually play Dr. Zormir, the artificer who is usually trying to wrangle the goblin into behaving, but never to very much success. I have a little bit more knowledge about 40k. I've actually also painted a few minis.
Ooh, what faction?
Not played a lot. I've painted some of the Imperial, some Space Marines, and also some of the Plaguer ones from the Chaos faction.
Oh, Death Guard. Death Guard.
Yeah.
Okay, you can actually play a Death Guard in this. There is rules for a Death Guard.
I just saw that. I saw the Death Guard.
Yeah, the Death Guard.
Second one down.
Yeah, it's in the Tome of Decay. And I'm Wolf Bane. Everyone should know me because it's my bloody channel. So, and if you watch the Alterra streams only, I am the menace that plays Alvina, the barbarian force of nature. Let's be honest at this point. So we are going to be doing a bit of character creation from Black Crusade. I advise the primary book you're gonna need is the actual main core rule book. For this, it will not be mostly on screen, but we'll be doing things. Oh yeah, I'll need to add you guys as command. Edit in players journals. Mox and can be edited controlled by Mox. Okay, that should have you on Ben. You should see a character. And I'll give you the second one, Bob, on here. Oh, wrong one. Wrong channel. And Bob. Cool. So you should see one as well, Bob.
Yep.
Cool. It's gonna take me a while to get my memory back on how to do character creation, but we'll figure it out as we go. As you can see, it's got a bit of an odd stat sheet and things. It has a bunch of different stats, which will be rolled for, because it might as well, right? And so the first part, so basically you are going to be followers of at least one, possibly more chaos gods. So for reference, mostly for Ben, because I don't think you know the chaos gods much, there are 4 giant fuck off unbelievably powerful demon gods that are effectively control most things in the 40k galaxy. They are the big bads of it. They are the blood god Khorne, my favorite personally, the strongest chaos god, the big bad himself.
Blood for the blood god, blood for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. Exactly. He is the big bad. He is blood and violence. He's the god of war, rage, anger, valor, everything and everything in between. He is not evil. None of these gods are technically evil. They are chaos. So they have good aspects as well as evil aspects. But they are most often... It's hard to say that the guy who decapitates people and demands that of his followers is a really nice guy. Right.
I'm trying to remember all the ones that I know. Yeah, Korn, definitely.
Korn's the big bad. There is Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, who is the... I can sum up Tzeentch quite comfortably with, just as planned. He's the second strongest Chaos God, the Chaos God of magic, sorcery, trickery, planning. He's that guy, basically. Did Tzeentch lose? No, he didn't. That was his plan. He was planning to lose. And he actually was. He's also the god of bullshitting, as you might have kind of guessed. So... Here's a fun one. If you want to play a magic-y guy, Tzeentch tends to be the best with magic-y stuff. You can play be aligned to other gods and magic, and use magic-y stuff. Not Khorne, though. Khorne hates magic. Khorne hates it. Khorne likes to just punch you in the face. There is...
If you're not punching it, you're not doing it right.
Exactly. Khorne is very direct. Tzeentch isn't. Is the best way. They are the two big rivals of each other, the two strongest Chaos Gods. There is the third strongest Chaos God, Nurgle, the Plague Father, Grandfather Nurgle. The most, happy-go-lucky, we'll go with. Chaos God, he is, a very nice guy, like, really jovial, actively loves his servants, genuinely cares about them all, and likes to bestow them with gifts. Unfortunately, he's the Plague Father, so you can imagine what kind of gifts he gives. And he's also still very much not a nice guy. He just has a better PR team. Disregard that his PR team involves zombies, because he has the zombie virus as one of his things.
Okay, rot, mutation.
Yeah, you'll be decaying and have every disease known to man, but on the plus side, you won't care anymore. It's kind of how Nurgle's stuff goes. And then there is Slaanesh, the youngest and weakest Chaos God, the Eldar, the 40k system's equivalent of elves, literally fucked into existence. I am not kidding, that is actually what happened. And it caused the downfall of the big Eldar Empire. And I can sum up Tzeentch, Slaanesh very comfortably as the god of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I thought you were just going to make a whip noise.
Could be as well. For reference, Slaanesh literally has dubstep guns.
Yep.
Slaanesh actively has dubstep guns. For reference, I will put this as a statement now. If you are going to be playing a Slaaneshi character, we are not a PG channel, but make it PG enough, okay?
No, going straight in for the fucking the dragon kind of standard of like in D&D.
Let's let's keep it okay for it. I am willing. For reference, Slaanesh is also the god of all things in excess. He's the god of gluttony. He is the god of really, really loud rock music, so loud that it literally makes your eardrums burst, and they're into that. It's that kind of stuff. They are very, very weird and hedonistic. And that is Slaanesh's kind of thing.
I'm guessing that Troll is a Slaanesh follower, considering he's got like literally an army of people carrying him about, eats food like non-stop, and is obsessed with gold.
Oh, you mean the ogre, Greasus?
Yes.
Greasus. No, he's not. Not in any way. Oh? He's not related to Chaos in any way, no.
I'm surprised.
No, he's just an ogre that really likes money. It's because he also bashes people's heads in. Ogres are also... Oh, that's Warhammer Fantasy as well. Ogres are a bit more... they're very resistant to Chaos. That's why they were made. But you will not be playing ogres. You'll be playing one of, in theory, two things. Yeah. You'll either be playing a relatively normal human. Mm-hmm. I say relatively because you are a follower of Chaos. You're gonna be a bit weird. Mm-hmm. Or you could play a Chaos Space Marine, a Heretic Astartes, the Space Marines. Everybody knows the Space Marines. If you've looked at Twitch in the past week or so, or the past month, you've vaguely seen at least one Space Marine somewhere. Because Space Marine 2 came out. So, They are the Astartes, the Space Marines of the God Emperor of Mankind and the Imperium. Years and years ago, about 10,000 years ago, There was a thing called the Horus Heresy, where about half of the Emperor's kids decided, fuck you, Dad, we are rebelling, and took their Space Marine children with them. That's what the Chaos Space Marines are. Many have fell since then. But basically, you're an 8.5 foot tall super soldier that can run as fast as the car and bench press a tank. So...
Yep. And depending on which Chaos one you are, you could be anything from this black armor and look really menacing to what the fuck are you?
Yes, you could be a Death Guard, because basically you don't have to be from one of the Chaos Space Marine legions, but unless you're certain classes, which we'll get to. But basically, you are going to be, if you are playing one of them, you can be a renegade from nobody. You're from no particular legion. You fell since then. You're just some random guy. You don't really want to show it.
I'm just finding my Chaos God.
Yeah. You don't have to be aligned to a Chaos God. You will venerate the Chaos Gods, but Chaos Undivided is an option. So you can just be, I didn't sell my soul to the Giant Demon God. I've kind of you've sold your soul to all of them, or you're a bit more like, I'm not sure where I'm going yet. Both of those are also perfectly valid options. There is actually mechanics in the game for swearing yourself to a Chaos God.
Okay.
So, first of all, open the main book. There is stuff in there as well. By the way, anyone who wants to read them out of you two, you've now got access to the Dropbox link. There is lore stuff in these books as well, so if you want a bit of an introduction at least, go for it. I'm happy to have you read them.
So the Black Tome?
The core rule book. Black Crusade core rule book. It should be the bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll get first with... what would be a good place to start? Oh yeah, this is a D100 system, by the way. And you can and will mutate. Prepare for that. Because we're in Black Crusade and not Dark Heresy, the mutations are more likely to be positive than negative. Because the Chaos Gods actually kind of like you. Because you work for them. The Chaos Gods can just mutate people if they decide to. You will be gaining corruption during the sessions. They can mutate you mid-session. You might gain an extra arm in the middle of the session. You might gain an extra head in the middle of the
another
session.
bolter gun.
Yeah, exactly. You might turn into a robot. That happened in the middle of a session. Spontaneously. There are a lot of things the Chaos Gods can do to you. Some of them are good. Most of them are bad.
Some of them are just plain crazy.
Some of them are just weird, yeah. Some of them are both good and bad. So, where to get to first? Let's go to page 46 to begin with, which is the basic section of character creation. For reference, anybody who is not on the who is watching the stream, you will not be able to see the actual rulebooks because I don't want to share them on the screen, basically. Also, they are formatted really weirdly. So...
You say 46?
Page 46 is the character creation. I don't know if that's the 46 on the actual PDF link, but it is the actual page 46.
I mean,
actually,
in the thing, you can click the chapter 2 character creation. It takes you...
Oh, does it work like that? Thank you. Hell yes. That's always nice. I'm not used to these doing it like that.
I did it by accident.
Yeah. Always fun. But yeah, so the game, obviously, baseline. If you are a Chaos Space Marine, by the way, you are going to be more powerful than your average person. That is very fair, right? Mm. And you can play a bog standard heretic, and we can have Space Marines in the same party. There is no downside. Because if you're playing a normal person, and someone else in the party is the Space Marine, you're going to have an amount of XP and extra perk points that'll bump you up to the same level. Effectively. Because it doesn't go by actual levels in this game, it goes on amount of XP. And you basically spend XP to get upgrades. Right?
Okay.
And I'm more likely to give you, like, some extra starting equipment, essentially. Because I'm going to start you guys with a little bit extra off of the bat, because Space Marines get some good starting gear. Your classes will dictate as well other starting gear you get. So say, if you play a Khorne Berserker from the Tome of Blood, you get a lot of extra shit that a normal Space Marine doesn't get, in addition to your Space Marine stuff.
Okay.
Right. So, a good bet would be... Get to... Yeah. There's the starting experience and stuff, which I'll get, as I said. Permitted starting speed might increase to 2,000 per point. Yeah, and you will also gain more corruption and infamy. Basically, if someone in the party is a bog standard Chaos Space Marine, the random schmuck homeless man in the party will be quite a well-respected homeless man, essentially.
Fair enough.
Because you will be, to be on par with a Chaos Space Marine, you'll be a very powerful cultist, essentially. Because you need to be equal. Now, that being said, the Chaos Space Marine's still probably better in a fight than you, but you have other stuff and maybe some more unique talents that the Space Marine doesn't have. Basically, the Space Marine is a sledgehammer. The cultist can do anything, because they're a cultist. And I do believe we have at least one person who is potentially up for it, who is already saying they want to be a Psyker. So, always fun. So, Chaos Space Marines get better overall starting stats. As a point, Ben, do you want to be a human? Or do you want to be a Space Marine? Good start.
Probably be Space Marine.
You want to be a Space Marine? Cool, that is always fun. Bob, do you want to be a human or a Space Marine?
I'm probably gonna go Space Marine.
2 Space Marines! Good. That means we can easily open the other books. Because there's more Space Marine options in the other books than there are for the others. Do any of you particularly like the sound of any of the gods? Like, is one really calling to you?
I mean, always just go for Khorne, so...
Hell yeah. Then I'd advise for you then, Ben, to go to the very fun book, which I believe is named the Tome of Blood.
Tome of Blood.
Yeah. Because my Space Marine Legion is actually in there. My one. There are a couple. But there are generic Space Marines as well, so if you go down a little bit in the main one, it has like, yeah, there's like Champion and things. I think is Champion the first one? Yeah, selecting an archetype is stage 3 in the main book, which has the starting classes. Obviously, they say which race they are. It's Chosen, Champion, Forsaken, I believe, are the starting Space Marine ones. Oh, and Sorcerer, which you can't be a Sorcerer with Khorne, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in the Tome of Blood has my Legion. Now, this is actually one of the ones that is locked to a certain Legion. Is one of the... I think both of these classes actually are. Or close enough, at least. Yeah. The Khorne Berserker, or the World Eater, as I prefer it, because they're my Space Marine Legion, or the World Eaters. Is the first one in the Tome of Blood, and then there is the Night Lords Chaos Space Marine, which is another type of World Eaters. Basically, are the proper scary psychopath nut jobs. They are the barbarians of Space Marines. They are bigger than average.
Okay.
They are faster than average. They are nastier than on average. They basically think, why do I need to do anything complicated? I'm going to hit you with my chain axe. They are very, very good fighters. They're built for close quarters combat. They are insanely good at it as well. I believe you also you might start with the Mark of Khorne, which is a nice boost. Or you get... But you are really fucking scary, basically. The Night Lords are actually scary. That is their shtick. They are good at close quarters. They are most likely running around on a jetpack. That's kind of what their stuff is built for. But they are terror troops. They're not necessarily they're not as good as a Khorne Berserker in a fight. They're still a Space Marine, so they're comparable. And you can definitely tailor yourself to be better, because there's some leeway with these stats. But the Night Lord tends to have some psycho abilities, basically. So they are likely to break people's morale with fear. And both of these have unique abilities that are tailored for them. For reference, these are higher level than normal Space Marines. So a Space Marine would get extra XP in a class if one of these is on the table. Which is it, yeah. That was one of the other legions. Their Primarch was, the best way I can describe Conrad Kurz is Murder Batman. Genuinely, yes, that is how I can describe Kurz. He is kind of Murder Batman. And that is their shtick, essentially. They were kind of horrible people to begin with.
Right.
Because they were mostly taken from the asshole criminals, originally.
Okay.
Who became Space Marines as a sort of repent and also to bring other people to justice. How they did that was by making sure that nobody else ever did anything like that again. And how do you do that? You know VoD the Impaler, what he's famous for?
Yeah.
Imagine doing that, but now you've got the technology to keep those people alive. That's Night Lord shtick, basically.
Okay.
World Eaters are much more straightforward. They're kind of gladiatory. They have the Butcher's Nails, which is brain implants, basically, that turn you into a frothing madman. That will literally rip a person's head off with their teeth. I believe also World Eaters are very, very hard to scare, and you get lots of... Both of them are very good on the offense, basically. That's kind of Khorne's shtick, usually. You are better at hitting people than anyone else. That's kind of Khorne's stuff, usually. The important stats, usually, as you notice, if you see the Khorne Berserker, you get some bonuses on top of your basically just starting as a starties. For a Khorne Berserker, you get higher strength and weapon skill than normal. You get some extra starting skills that you don't normally get, which you do get to pick between, and some extra talents and some extra gear. Okay. For Space Marine on baseline, you get obviously higher stats than average, some good power armor, which is really, really, really good. You'll get some tweaks to your power armor as well, which will be fun by being one. You get unnatural strength because you're bigger and tougher than anybody else, so you have unnatural strength and unnatural toughness, just baseline. This is every Space Marine. You're just really, really good. So have a look through the classes, see if one particular catches your eye. All of them.
I'm leaning towards the Night things.
The Night Lords. Ooh, another Night Lord. Fun time. And Bob, you also want to be in Astartes. Does any of... I imagine Nurgle kind of cleans to you, considering you literally built some Death Guard before.
Yeah, I pennied some Death Guard because I bought the
box set when they got the new release.
A small set of the Death Guard.
Yeah. Well, you can play a Plague Marine. They are in there.
Yeah, I'm looking at Plague Marine.
Yeah. Plague Marine, for reference, is on par with the Khorne Berserker in terms of tier of play, because they're a Splat Book Space Marine, so they're all equivalent in XP. Basically means I don't need to give anyone uneven amounts of XP, because they're as powerful as each other. Plague Marines, the best way you can describe them is a giant rotting carcass that hasn't figured out it's already dead. They are kind of like zombies, but worse.
It's a bit like the God Emperor.
Yeah. Fatter than the God Emperor. They've got more meat on them. A lot more meat on them. And their intestines are actually on show, rather than the Emperors that have rotted away. They are
being kept alive by the throne, if I'm right, no?
Yeah, pretty much. He's on life. He's on super life support.
And I think there is a theory that because the throne is gold, the orcs are keeping him alive.
The orcs believe he's tough enough that he can't die.
It is one of
isn't gold like immortality though?
Not really. Gold is
No?
wealth for orcs, but it could definitely mean
Right.
it is being buffed up by it. It's definitely a thing.
The orcs believe he's not. He was too tough to die, so he's not dead.
Yeah.
It's kind of the orcs' wa is too strong that if they ever figured out what the fuck was going on, it would be the indestructible force of the universe.
If the orcs ever just realize their own power, they could actually wish people out of existence. But why would they do that?
Yeah.
That's more fighting.
No, they like fighting.
Yeah. Which also, by the way, is a reason why in the domain of Khorne, there is an entire orc war that Khorne keeps resurrecting because they're just having a good time. He generally charged into Khorne's domain, and Khorne actively likes them, so make sure they are resurrected every morning to keep on the eternal battle. Genuinely a thing.
Makes sense.
I thought when you said, "Oh, I like orcs," I went, "Okay, if we played the Black Crusade, you're gonna like Khorne." So let's. Now that Bob, are you thinking of playing his Plague Marine? Because obviously they're big, they're not very fast, they're actually significantly slower than average. Because they actually get a negative to a stat. They get negative 10 agility, so you're very not likely to dodge anything, and you're very slow. But on the other side, you have, I think, the most health. You're likely to have the most health in the game. And you get plus 10 toughness and willpower because you don't really care that people shoot you. Because they have to get through the first 6 layers of diseased fat before they hit anything vital. And you get very poisonous stuff. Also, you start with blight grenades, which are literally human skulls that they scooped everything out, poured a bunch of let's call it excretions, and they throw it at people. Actually, a thing.
Fair enough.
Death Guard are the tanks, the actual tank. That being said, World Eaters are almost as tanky outright, and can be tankier against certain types of enemy. For reference, if a Plague Marine is getting shot by a las cannon, the Plague Marine might actually live, while the World Eater is where the Khorne Berserker is probably dead. But it's a might live, and the Khorne Berserker is more likely to actually get out of the way and not get hit by the las cannon in the first place. But if a guy's coming at you with a Power Fist, which for reference is used to punch tanks to death, the World Eater's got a significantly better chance of surviving that than the Plague Marine, because the World Eater might actually stop it from hitting him in the first place with a parry. Yeah.
Just looks at it and goes, okay.
He might stop it with
Harry,
one
you
hand.
filthy casual.
Pretty much, yes. Anyway, let's get some stats rolled. So the first thing I want you all to do, there is a stat baseline here somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of, if you go onto page, what page is this? 50 of the base character creation, of the base rulebook, you will see it has Chaos Space Marine implants. Those are important. Note them down, basically. Most of them will just do stuff that your baseline will already tell you, right? That you will say on the Chaos Space Marine starting abilities, which is on page 48 of the book.
What are we looking for?
Stage 1, choose a race. You're both on Chaos Space Marine. That stuff you have to note down, just outright. Everything on there. There is a skill section on this sheet somewhere. And talents. Note these down somewhere. These aren't super important right now, but these are things you all have. Right? You can note down later on as well your extra stuff from each of those. But don't do those yet, because I believe... Yes, those are increases to your base total, not upgrades. So we'll do the stats first. So as you might know, there's a shitload of stats in this game. There's weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, agility, intelligence, perception, willpower, fellowship, and infamy. Don't worry about infamy right now. Infamy is a special stat. But the other stats are very, very important. So I can't remember what page it's on. Oh yeah, generating characteristics is page 34 apparently. Of the main rulebook, because yay. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so as Space Marines, both of you start with a certain amount in each stat. Which is somewhere here. These rulebooks are not the best, I will say. They're quite old.
Which page is that, sorry?
I'm just checking through because it says that characteristics are on page 34 is where they start, and it'll tell you what they all do, which isn't a terrible thing to look up on its own. Because there's playing the game, and most of the characteristics are exactly what you expect them to be. Weapon skill is good at melee weapons, ballistic skill good at guns, strength, toughness, agility. Also affects your speed, by the way, so how fast you can run is also affected by agility.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence is exactly what you think it is. Perception is its own stat in this game, and it does do what you think it does, basically. I think perception also has some indication. Yeah, it does senses as well as, like, situational awareness as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think lying goes off of, like, being able to tell if someone's lying goes off perception. Willpower is what you think it is also the spellcasting stat. Fellowship is your entire charisma set. All of that is just in Fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
And Infamy is a unique stat that is basically how well-known or powerful you are.
Yeah.
You are both going to be fairly powerful on account of being Chaos Space Marines. And being actual Legion Chaos Space Marines as well, not just some random schmuck.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is the what's your starting stats? I'm just checking. Oh yeah, also your equipment will help you with certain stats and things. So.
Okay.
Where the hell?
If you stick a rocket booster at me, I'll move a bit faster.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh yeah, apparently you get 7,000 XP to start with.
7,000 XP.
Trust me, it feels like a lot, it isn't.
Okay.
Choose a race. Check characteristics. It should say it on somewhere. Okay, generating characteristics. Here we go. Found it. It is on page 52 of the book. So, first of all, put in each of the boxes. I think it's the it's the large box, I believe. Because you are all Chaos Space Marines, put 30 in each of those boxes. Not Infamy, with the exception of Infamy.
Okay. So are we on our character sheets?
Yeah. On your character sheet, put 30 in every single box. We will do what your class adds to you later, because your ones do actually affect your base stats, which is kind of unique. Not Infamy. Not in the Infamy box. I have your character sheet open, if you're wondering. Yeah. Infamy will do last, because it just works in a slightly different way, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So everything except for the last one's 30.
Yeah. I believe Infamy is calculated slightly differently, which is the whole thing. They weren't worried about right now. I think we figured that out last time on account of somebody got such a high amount of Infamy that they started off dead. So... So yeah. Now... yes. You are going to need... For each of these... Actually, let's go first... Ben.
Mm-hmm.
roll me a. I'm going to need you to roll me a bunch of sets of d10s. One for each stat. And they can go in in any order, but you have to roll them 2 at a time, basically. So, 2d10 times 9, basically. So roll 2d10 9 times. You can note them down somewhere if you like, but this is what extra you're getting added onto your stats as baseline. And because I'm nice, I'm going to let you put them in whatever placements you want. Ooh. There's some good ones in there. Yeah, basically, each of those add to whatever total you want in the right kind of way. I don't think... You only got 1 below 10, which is good.
Yeah.
The 19 and the 18 are very, very good.
Yeah.
As you are going to be a Corn Berserker, I imagine putting those into your strength and weapon skill probably the best. The important stats for you as a Corn Berserker are weapon skill, strength...
I was going, not Fury, or whatever they were.
Oh, Night Lord.
Yeah.
Night Lord... What the hell is pinging me? I hate the new Discord sound effects, if anyone hadn't noticed.
I think I turned them off when I first installed Discord and never turned them back on.
They've reset themselves for me a lot, so I just gave up. Let's mute that server for 3 hours. Someone was just posting some links about Helldivers to some in another chat I'm in. But yeah, put those in your stats in whatever order you want, Ben, and just note them down somewhere because I'm gonna get Bob to write them up, punch left. Yeah, Night Lord. I think you basically want also mostly the same stats as that, because I think Night Lords are also primarily close quarters. You might have some other stats which are also kind of important. Oh yeah, you also are good at stealth, I believe. So maybe a bit more into agility than normal. Yeah, you've also got some pretty good dodge. You can build either Dex or Strength with Night Lords. Dex actually doesn't really apply as many combat bonuses as you'd expect in other games, because it does 2 stats in combat: how fast you can move and how good you are at dodging. Bear in mind, you're a Space Marine. You've got armor that they usually can't crack with an anti-tank gun. So, dodging's kind of useful, but not the most mandatory thing in the world.
I can take this.
Yeah, exactly. you can. Basically, if someone puts a 44 Magnum up against your helmet, there's a good chance it'll bounce off when they fire it. Now, Bob, do me the same.
How many
2d10,
times?
9 times.
Okay. Quickly copy that so I can just...
Oh, you got an 18? Good.
4,
15? Good.
5, 7, 8, 9 times?
9, yeah. And put those any order you want into any of the stats you want that aren't in for me, basically.
Okay.
And now we can do that. We can put the extra stats from your classes in as well. So for you, Ben, you are a Night Lord. So you get the free weird bat-winged helmet and blue armor, dark blue armor. We are going to have you increase your strength and willpower by 5 each.
Okay.
which is very good. It takes your strength
yeah.
over 50, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Meaning on a pure strength test with no chances, you've got over 50% chance, with no bonuses to it, you've got over 50% chance to get a success. For every 10 is good, basically. Everything over 10s is very, very good in this game.
Okay.
Because that is your degrees of success and how well you pass by. So say you rolled a 53 on a strength test, you will pass with 1 degree of success. Because it's in the same section of 10s, plus 1, basically. But if you got a 1, you would get 6 degrees of success. Or if you got a... the 10s is what matters, basically. Which is very, very important. Also, for your strength specifically, it also affects your melee damage. Your strength score is on your is basically the 10s number. And it's basically, if it says in anything, your like willpower bonus, fellowship bonus, strength bonus, toughness bonus, anything like that, that is the bonus, is the 10s.
Okay.
Or in your guys' case, 10s plus a bonus usually because you're Space Marines and you get unnatural strength and toughness 4, which goes into those little boxes next to them, essentially. So you see that the boxes next to your strength and toughness, the little boxes, put 4 in both of those. Just making sure that Bob also only has unnatural toughness 4 because he's a Plague Marine, so he might have an extra one. But
I'm still trying to divvy out the points and the other things.
no, I'm just checking if you've got anything that matters on your stats. No, you don't. Cool. But yeah, I'll leave you guys for a moment to do that. Oh yeah, as a Night Lord, you also get 9 infamy baseline, which is very nice. Oh yeah, and 15 corruption. Corruption is bad until it's not.
Where does corruption go?
I believe that might be on the next page. This is technically for the Dark Errors, the Black Crusade rulebook player sheets, because they all basically use the same system, so a couple of things don't work. But I know there's something that says it. Is it advancements? Oh, there's corruption on advancements.
Oh, yeah.
You have a base of 15. You're going to get more.
Okay.
But that's just a baseline. Okay, now that you have that. Now, why don't you start chucking in what skills you've got? You get a base bunch for just being a Space Marine. Which it tells you on page... page 48. It has the Chaos Space Marine starting abilities. These are what you have just baseline. By the way, for reference, if you want to put to show you have a skill, just put a dash in the first box. The one on the far right on each skill. So let's get you doing that first of all. Because as a Space Marine, you have Athletics, Awareness, Common Law War, which goes into your Law skills. Dodge, Forbidden Law, Adeptus Astartes, the Horus Heresy, and the Long War, because in your Kit 2's case, you were alive during it, probably. You are probably both about over 10,000 years old.
Okay.
Linguistics, Low Gothic, you speak normal person, basically. Navigate Surface, which is, I believe, basically survival in this game. But for land.
I'm still trying to find law.
They are on the section on the right. There's laws, and it has common law, scholastic, and forbidden. It's below in linguistics and trade. You type it in which one you have, because there's a few.
Oh, right.
And you have a mark in those boxes as well. Which I believe some of these will get upgraded as well with your class. Yeah, a fair few of these get upgraded with your classes. Oh, you get a starting trait as a Night Lord. That's kind of cool. You get basically a free talent on top of all the other things that is actually quite rare. So, always fun.
Right. I put all the numbers in each of the boxes, and
Okay.
what am I doing?
Well, Bob, you are a Plague Marine. So, if
Yes.
you've got all your stuff done, you get, for your characteristic bonuses for being a Plague Marine, negative 10 to your agility.
Where did I put that?
Where you see where your agility is?
Yeah.
Lower that score by 10.
Right.
Plus 10 to your toughness, though. So you increase that by 10, and plus 5 to your willpower. You are very tanky.
Plus 10 to toughness and plus 10 to...
Plus 5 to willpower, negative 10 to agility.
Right, so...
Your character is big and bloated and not very fast. But very, very tough. To compensate.
So, agility, toughness, willpower for this.
Yeah, negative agility, positive 10 toughness, plus 5 to willpower.
Okay.
Because you're the implacable wall. Also now, Bob, because this is based in changing your starting totals, add yourself 15 corruption, which is on the advancements page. If you look to the top of your character sheet, you'll see advancements.
Advancements?
Yeah, if you scroll down a little, usually corruption. Put 15 in there. And now go back to the main page and put yourself 7 in infamy. Because this is basically adjustments to your starting amount.
7.
Yes, you have 7 infamy for being a Plague Marine. Night Lords get a little bit more infamy than the others because they are kind of fucked up.
Okay.
Okay. So, now that, yeah, you're very tanky. 58 toughness, Jesus. 28 agility, you're so slow. Oh yeah, Bob, and in your, the little box on strength and toughness, put a 4 in the little boxes. Because that is your unnatural strength and toughness. Basically, you're genetically augmented monsters. So, you're
4.
And then 4 in the other. Yeah. Basically, where your unnatural strength and toughness, in most cases that would care about your bonus, so it doesn't affect your dice roll, it affects the bonus that you pass or fail by, you get a bonus of that number.
Okay.
So, say, you, with your 58 toughness, roll a critical success on a toughness check. You're really good at that toughness check and roll a 1. You have passed by 10 degrees of success.
Okay.
Because you get 5 degrees from being toughness 58. You get 1 extra for passing. And you get plus 4 for being an Astartes, basically. Because of unnatural toughness. And now, Bob, on your Chaos Space Marine starting abilities, write in all the athletics awareness and stuff. It's on page 58. Are you done with that? For now, Ben.
Don't know.
Let's see.
What am I looking at next?
Oh, Ben, for your Forbidden Law, you've typed in Adeptus Astartes and I think all the other ones. Yeah, those are 3 different skills.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what bit am I looking at next?
Page 48 of the core rulebook.
No, meaning on my character sheet.
Oh, these are your skills. So you know your acrobatics, athletics, all that stuff. Yeah. If you are if you have it says it is the level it is, put a dot in the far right-hand box of each one. The law skills and trade and languages and stuff like that. Type in the name of the language or law you have.
Okay. I'm looking for the...
Page
Like-
48, Chaos Space Marine starting abilities.
Where do I put talents?
Talents, you put in the talents thing. If you scroll down a bit further, you can see a talent section. You have to add it in manually. For now, just basically put the names. You can look them up later, because it's going to take way too long if we, like, get the individual bits. So if you want to look up, you get to pick one or the other. Then actually look them up, because it's a good idea. Most of them are fairly self-explanatory. Like, ambidextrous is you get less of a negative for dual wielding. Bulging biceps is you can wield heavy guns without having to brace, because you're just that jacked, basically.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So I'm curious, which one did Bob go? Oh, Bob went actual classic Bob went classic Plague Marine, hilariously enough. Ballistic skill and weapon skill even, because they actually go they can do very well in melee and at range. Plague Marines. It's actually a thing they're known for. Whereas Night Lords are unsurprisingly more commonly known for melee weapons. Most commonly known for lightning claws specifically, which are very fun weapons. You will make a lot of use out of that. If you want to go very stereotypy, Ben, you can use a lot of you can get a lot of use out of that ambidexterity.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they actually get bonuses for ambidexterity stuff as well.
So where am I putting on the...
What?
The check marks are on the...
Do you see the skill section, Bob?
Yeah.
Put
I
a
found-
dot. Put a dot in the skills you have on the far right. He says acrobatics, AG, and there's 4 boxes.
Yeah.
Put it on the
Just
right hand box. On the right hand box. Yeah. Any of those that you have, put it in that box. Because that is
Okay.
that is basically trained. Trained means you have no bonus for a skill check, right?
Mm.
Because if you try to do an untrained check, you've got a negative 20 to the roll. Well, you got a plus 20 to the roll, which makes it harder. No, is it negative? No, it's negative 20. So you need to get a lower number to pass, basically. But if you have it, it means you're just taking the dice as is. Okay. Okay, now Ben, as you've gone through those talents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, traits. Cool, you put the traits in too. For your next one, why don't you go and chuck in the stuff for your Night Lord now, all the starting talents and traits that they get.
Okay.
Which Night Lord you get to pick for these ones, so these ones you can actually look up if you want. For reference, when it says plus 10, that means you put an extra tech check mark in, because plus 10 is the first upgrade after trained. It takes you from, you know how to do this, to, you're actually good at this. Which matters a lot, believe you me. We had a person in the other one-shot I did who was an Alpha Legionnaire. Alpha Legionnaires are really good at lying. So I think he had a plus 30 to deception. Starting. This wasn't with upgrades. Meaning that he needed to roll, because I think he had a 60 odd, he needed to get less than a 90 on a D100. Assuming he had no bonuses.
Common war.
Yes. It might come up. Because we're doing Black Crusade, it's not likely to be the talkiest thing in the world, but talking skills probably aren't the worst idea. Or they might be the worst idea, consider what happened to the person in the... I recommend anybody watching this stream to go back and watch my other one-shot, which was on my YouTube channel of Black Crusade. Where I believe one of the party members turned into a stick by the end of the session.
I also find it very funny that the normal Space Marines no dodge, whereas I don't think my one does.
No, he doesn't get a bonus. He doesn't get bonuses for it. He's
He
bad at
used to
it.
know how to dodge. He just forgotten now.
No, he doesn't lose it. He doesn't lose dodge. You're just worse at dodge.
Forbidden lore? There's a separate thing for forbidden lore?
Yes. It's because getting a forbidden lore in the actual... If we were doing a campaign, forbidden laws are harder to get. Basically. They cost more XP to get because they're forbidden. You're not supposed to know this stuff. It's because these systems can all be worked together, essentially. Black Crusade, Dark Heresy, Only War, Rogue Trader, and Deathwatch can all work together in the same game, in theory. You'd be insane to run all of them together in the same game, but you can.
That is a very long thing we need for the forbidden lore.
That's because it's 3 different skills, Bob.
Yeah.
You know, 3 different types
I
of...
put them all in one.
Yeah. It's an easy mistake to make, but yeah. It's because you know 3 different forbidden laws. You know about Adeptus Astartes, because you are one. You know about the Horus Heresy, because you were there. And you know about the Long War, because you were also there. And you currently are there at the moment. For which the Long War is basically the war against the Imperium, for you. Who are your primary enemies, for reference. Well, I say primary enemies, quotation marks. It might be other followers of Chaos. Who knows? I'm not sure who I'm putting against you yet. Haven't decided. But yes, are you done with that section there, Ben? For your...
Nearly. I'm putting in the starting talents.
Cool. Yeah, as I say, for the talents and stuff, mostly look them up when you just get some time, really. Because they are quite complex, a lot of them. And obviously with your ones, you get to pick and or with Night Lord a lot. That's the thing with these advanced classes. You get to pick. Which some of them are very good. Like, Dodge plus 10 or Parry plus 10, both of them are really good. So.
I think I'll put in both.
Oh yeah, it's or. A lot of your skills are or. Yes, you did put in both. It's fine, you just pick one.
Yeah.
Dodge, you can technically dodge melee attacks as well, it's just hard. And not a great idea, usually. Parrying is much better for dodging, for dealing with melee attacks. But parry is, I imagine, only works on melee attacks. And there are things to lower parry ratings as well. But there's also easy ways to increase parry rating. So, if you are good enough with a sword, you can effectively block any melee attack, pretty much. Because you compare your degrees of success to theirs, essentially. And, say you've got a balanced sword and master parry and, like, blade master and all stuff like that. You'll be effectively having about 140 parry. Which means that to parry you, they need at least... That means for them to outweigh your parry, they need you to roll really badly, and they need to hit you for a certain number of degrees of success to hit you at all. Unless they crit, which is a 1. Or you crit fail, which is 100. Because as you might imagine, a 100 is a critical failure, a 1 is a critical success. You always hit on a 1, you always fuck up on a 100. Doesn't matter how good your bonus is.
Okay.
But as you might imagine, it's a D100 system, and that's the only number that goes that in either way, so it's not the most likely thing, but it does come up.
think I'm done. I've just not put any of the starting gear in.
Okay.
Or wounds.
I see common law other. What the hell is that?
It's, the other is just not looked through the thing yet.
Oh, yeah, you haven't decided which one yet. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which one's the actual options for you?
So it's war and other.
Oh, yeah, one or the other. You get to pick the other. That's it. Cool.
Yeah.
I just realised it gives you common law
What?
war twice. Like, it doesn't give you the upgrade to it. It just gives it you... Fair enough. You know what? Fuck it. I know on that one. Yes, Bob?
I've lost the page that I'm supposed to be on for the Chaos Marine starting stuff.
Oh, the basic Chaos Space Marine is page 48 of the Player's Handbook. If you like, Ben, you can put in the abilities you get from your implants, because most of them are built into your stuff, as you might imagine. It's pretty easy to tell which ones are. But a few of your other innate abilities aren't, so you can put them into traits if you like. Which is page. It's the page just below the Chaos Space Marine starting abilities page. It's the Chaos Space Marine's implants. You have all of these internal.
All of them. Alright.
You have all of them. A lot of them, it's self-explanatory. Like, contributes to unnatural strength and toughness. That's already written in. But a few of them are, like, I think the Belcher's gland should be on there somewhere, which allows you to spit acid. So it's not a bad idea to just have these in case it comes up, right?
Okay, and where do they go?
You can put those in traits, if you like.
Okay.
Anyone that doesn't go contributes to this trait is probably worth putting down, at least. I always say put them in traits because there isn't a specific spot for them. So, I've always just gone, they are technically traits, right?
So things like secondary heart, osmodular, bioscopia, and hemestament.
Yeah, they don't need to put them because you know they affect your unnatural strength and toughness. So, those ones are.
And pre-enamel and things like that, right, gotcha.
Yeah. The Larriman's organ is one that's worth putting in, though. Like that.
Yeah, so things that have got, like, actual big blocks of text, those kind of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, homophagia. You eat people and gain information.
Neuroglottis.
Which people forget. Normal Space Marines do that. That's not a Chaos Space Marine thing. That's a normal Space Marine thing too. The good guys. It would have been a bit weirder in Space Marine if Captain... I haven't played Space Marine 2 and I've actively avoided looking at it until I get my new PC and I can play it myself. But it'd be weird if Captain Titus just picks up a gaunt at some point and starts chowing down. That's technically a thing he could have done. So... Certain creatures is a terrible idea to do. Tyranids are one of them. Orcs are another. You don't want to try and eat the mushrooms. It's a bad idea.
No.
Particularly when sometimes the mushroom spores have been known to survive re-entry. So... It'll probably die from a Space Marine eating it, but not guaranteed. Are you done with your stuff on there, Bob?
No. I've finally figured out how to copy paste from the actual thing and start making it a bit more quicker because me typing is like, oh god, no.
Most of it's not too... Most of it, you can type the stuff in your own time when you get a chance. Because you got plenty of time. Gotta say, this is the character creation stream. We're not playing today.
Okay.
We're just getting the cliff notes done, and we'll do some more dice roll-y stuff. Okay, I need to... While you're doing that, I'm going to look up the infamy generation.
So for the Night Lords, they do have wounds.
Yes.
So it's 15 plus 1d5. Do I need to put that in as well?
That is your health.
That's my health.
Yeah, it basically, in this game, wounds are determined by your class, not by anything else. So, as a Night Lord, it says, what was it, 15 plus d5?
Plus d5.
Yeah. Roll me a d5 in the chat.
No, Ben, that's the Twitch chat.
5, nice!
Nice.
You got the max, so yeah, write that into total and current wounds.
Cool.
Max roll, yeah. Basically, that is literally your health bar. It's quite hard to hurt a Space Marine, so you have armor and toughness and stuff, which is why the wounds don't look that high. They're actually quite high. Whereas a normal person, like, if memory serves, the normal people who are in, say, Dark Heresy, I think the highest health you can get in Dark Heresy off the bat is 13. That's the highest. That's if you really spec into health. And you have 20 without particularly being spec into health. So.
Were we doing starting talents as well?
You have them.
Right.
Hey, King Poverty. Yeah, starting talents is you have these talents. These are just built into you. I find it's easier, Bob, to go through them, like, at a time, really. So you can do the Plague Marine ones after. Okay. So, how do you generate your infamy? Because I remember that has a weird generation.
I think I did see that by the character.
Yeah, there he is. Exception is infamy. Instead of rolling 2d10 and adding 30, they generate infamy by rolling 1d5 and adding 19. So then, roll me a d5 there. 23. Okay, add that to your base infamy that you have now.
Okay.
Which I think takes you over a couple of mutations.
32.
I think that takes you over a couple of mutations, which is pretty fun.
Okay. Now have miss 30.
Yeah, 32. And for... and Bob, while you're at it, roll me a d5 just so we can get your infamy stat done. Same as Ben just did, so you can plus 19 for it if you want.
Yeah, so you might as well do plus 19 plus your 7.
Yeah.
Plus
19.
Plus,
and then we
yeah,
add it
so
to the
D5.
7 you already have.
Yeah, so D5 plus 19 plus 7.
You have 21 infamy. Oh, you plus 9. You have
31.
31. You have 31, Bob. So yeah, cross out the 7 in your infamy, like delete that, and put 31 in.
That's not bad. Yours is only one lower than mine.
Yeah. Infamy being high is usually good. If you have your corruption if your corruption goes too high, without your infamy being particularly high, bad things happen. Yeah. I also think you guys went over one mutation each, because that's actually a thing that humans have over Space Marines, is they mutate easier, which means they get lower thresholds to get mutations.
Yeah.
Which is beneficial in this game to get mutations, because most of them are really good. Some of them are awful, and can just give you pure negatives and have no benefit at all. Some of them can give you extra armor plating, a 15th arm, let you wield 2-handed weapons in one hand, or give you just an innate terrifying weapon. Or wings. Wings is an option. Being a demon is an option, which literally just nullified an encounter in the actual game we had last time. Someone had Fear 4, which is the highest fear you can get, and it literally just made a bunch of random spods run away from them, and they couldn't actually be attacked because of the Fear 4. Yeah. We'll do the alignment stuff later. But there is an alignment chart, which you might end up being aligned to a god, depending on your skills.
Fair enough.
Basically, being aligned to gods gives you price increases and decreases for certain upgrades, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of if you're a Psyker, if you are ever aligned to Khorne, it turns off your psychic powers until you're not. Literally. You lose the Psyker trait, and you lose psychic powers and be able to do anything with them until you lose the Khorne. It doesn't, like, remove it, it just, you can't use it at all. Okay. I'm gonna get to the corruption page. Thankfully, this is a GM one, so you guys don't have to worry too much about it. So... Hey, mutating. Oh, that's the mutating weapon. Yeah, there are rules for demon weapons in this game, by the way.
Nice.
Okay, corruption. Oh, that's the corruption for psychic powers. Oh yeah, corruption is very, very, very integral to being a psyker. Essentially, your psychic level can't be higher than your corruption. In this game, specifically. Because you're a chaos follower. You're probably using chaos for your magic. So... if you're not particularly corrupt, you're not very powerful. The more corrupt you get, the stronger you're gonna get.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Experience. Here it is. Rewards. Here it is. What are they called? The Final Fate. Oh yeah, by the way, if you... This is not likely to happen in the session, though I have said that before and it almost happened the last time. You're not likely to hit either 100 corruption or 100 infamy. But if you hit 100 corruption outright, without hitting 100 infamy, you turn to a chaos spawn and are uncontrollable and will attack the party.
Okay.
If you get 100 corruption after hitting 100 infamy, you turn to a demon prince. And because it's a one-shot, I'll go, fuck it. You can do whatever you want, basically, because you're a god at that point, essentially. Normally, you're supposed to be controlled by the GM, but you'll basically be GM instructed. Oh, it's 140 infamy, apparently, not 100.
Okay.
You become a demon prince, which is very fun. You get one of the best things off the bat. At bare minimum, you get immortality. That's on the low end.
Fair enough.
And you will get a bunch of extra stuff on top of that. It obviously comes with a lot of prices, one of which is you're a demon. So... Okay, here we go. The corruption track. Ah, okay. A disciple of the Chaos... Traitor Legionnaires have been granted a stronger body and spirit than normal men, Generate the gifts of the Chaos Gods at 10, 30, 60, and 90 corruption points. So, I believe you, Bob, are Nurgle off the bat, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you have to start as Nurgle, so you are aligned to Nurgle, and you just are. So it might change your options. But because you're currently still doing your character creation, other bits, we'll do mutations for Ben. Ben, is there any Chaos God that you particularly feel like dedicating yourself to?
Yeah, probably just go on.
You actually act... Because you can pick none, and we can just roll this straight.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Roll it straight? Cool. Corn ones basically mean that you can either roll on the normal sheet or the corn sheet. If you roll straight up, you've got more... Basically, if you don't do that, then you don't get to roll on the corn sheet. But you have to pick anyway. And the normal sheet... Both are very good. That there's no real downsides either way. So...
Okay.
Okay, so I believe if we're going normal, roll me your first D100.
No, that's Twitch chat again.
21? 21? I believe you get to increase or decrease this by your infamy level, which would be 3 for you. So, what you have rolled... Okay, I will say, I'll tell you the names of it first, and then you can determine which one you want to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so a 21 is boneless. You can roll that down to an 18, which is called Steel-Hearted. Or you can upgrade it to 20 to 23, which is Burning Body. Or you can just barely get it to 24, which is Chaos Organ.
What does the Chaos Organ do?
Okay, Chaos Organ. I thought, tell you the names off the bat will get you to be interested in them. Chaos Organ. The gift confirms the character an organ or appendage normally only attached to a demon or one of the ruinous powers. Such a gift would surely be regarded with awe by mortals who will regard as a sure sign of the character's favour in the eyes of the otherworldly patrons. The character gains some aspect of one of the many demons of chaos. This could take the form of unnatural eyes burning with demonic fire, long grasping talons replacing hands, cloven hooves, or other insidious mutation. The heretic may select one of the following traits: natural weapons, heightened senses any, so you have to pick one, or natural characteristic +1 anyone. Ooh. Which is very good. Basically, you get to pick one of these very, very good bonuses. All of them are good.
Yeah.
Also, if you were if you are aligned to a particular god, you get to get something that's specific. You get to also pick something from a particular god is on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So for Khorne, you gain Horns of Bloodletter, which gives you Furious Assault, is also an option. Basically, you get these giant fuck-off antlers, and I believe Furious Assault, it's hard to parry you on your first attack, on a charge, because you run into them. Slanesh is one of the character's highest randomly determined, replaced with a Razor Crab Claw of a Demonette, which gives you a natural weapon claw. In addition, you get a razor sharp quality. However, the heretic may not wield a weapon with that hand. Nurgle, you get a really, really fat gut, which gives you regeneration 1. If you are Tzeentch, you get multiple limbs. You get additional arm topped with a distended claw like one of the horrors of Tzeentch, that you get a multiple limbs trait with the exception the additional limb can melt into its body and vanish or reappear at the heretic's whim. The full action game terms. You get a retractable arm, is if you were one of the Chaos God aligned, which currently you're not. So, but yeah. Burning Body, if you want to know what that does. If memory says boneless is actively bad. Oh no, it's not. You lose D10 plus 10 strength, but gain D5 plus 2 agility is boneless.
No.
Fairly bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Burning body is... the character's body is wreathed in imperial flames, while his own body is unaffected. Others who approach too close may be burned or consumed entirely. The character's body is constantly aflame, may damage his surroundings, betray his presence, and the like, as determined by the GM. In addition, an enemy landing a blow on him with their bare hands or attempting to grapple him must pass a challenging +0 agility test, or immediately take 1d10 energy damage. In addition, the character has a light. And you get bonuses again, depending on your god. If you are corner-lined, it turns to Khorne's Forgers, which is 2d10 damage, but make it almost impossible for the character to hide in any way. You are unable to stealth ever, but you double the damage of the fire. Is Khorne's one, which makes sense for a Lord of Battle. Slaanesh is invisible fire. Oh, they no longer count as a light source, but they don't betray your presence, essentially. Nurgle, it turns into... corpse gas flames. Instead of the normal effects, all living creatures in melee with a heretic must pass an ordinary +10 toughness test, or take 1d5 toughness damage, which is terrible. Attribute damage is in this game, and it's exactly as bad as you think it is. And a load of toughness damage can kill you, as you might expect. And Tzeentch is... it's Warp Flames, which anything damaged by it also gains corruption. So you could potentially just make someone turn into a Chaos Spawn. If someone attacks you.
I'm thinking Burning Body.
Burning Body for a D10 if someone punches you or tries to grab you. That is fair. And what was the other one? Because there was... Oh, there's Steel-Hearted as well. There was one more. Just in case. I think Steel-Hearted might be the Turns You into a Robot one.
Right.
I can't remember. No, that's Mechanoid. What is Steel-Hearted? S. The Burning Body sounds fun, though. Steel-Hearted, okay. Some have seen to the depths of the warp, and knowing how trivial concerns of mortals truly are, the character's heart is steeled to the terrors of the material universe, and only what lies beyond it concerns him. The character counts fear caused by an enemy as one level lower than described in that enemy's profile. If the enemy is Fear 1, it has no effect. Khorne, when facing a fear-causing enemy warriors, Imperial Guard... Fear-causing enemy warriors, Imperial Guard, Planetary Defense Troopers, Space Marines, etc., the enemy's fear rating reduced by a further level, so Khorne lowers it by 2. Slaanesh, when facing enemies dedicated to the worship of the corpse god of the Imperium, as is adepts of sororitas, priests, etc., who cause fear, reduced by a further level. Nurgle, fear effects caused by other servants of chaos, accounts as a further level lowered. And Tzeentch, psychers, basically don't scare you as much. Basically, you get -1 fear, -2 against certain things, if you are aligned with the god.
Okay.
I think the Burning Body or the Demon Organ, personally.
Yeah, I'm Burning Body.
Burning Body. So you just had Burning Body, basically, and you can look it up after. What was that?
Is that going into talents or traits?
I believe that is a trait. Oh, actually, it's a mutation, I think. So there might be a thing on corruption for it, actually. Yes, mutation. So it goes into the mutations thing. Ignore those. The other things, those are specifically for Dark Heresy. Ignore the weapon skill, ballistic skill stuff. They don't matter.
Okie dokes.
Okay, and now, because you have hit 30, roll again. Another D100. And yes, Bob?
Were we adding our armor and stuff as well to now?
We'll do the armor in a moment. 20.
Another low roll.
I think you technically get the same... You don't get the Steel-Hearted option again, but all the other options are the same, except you get... there is another one on there now, because I believe that took it, because you've got 3, you can adjust it down 1 further. You get Blessed Fits. Not Fists, Fits.
Okay. What does that one do?
Should the character ever... the character is prone to bouts of severe seizures, shaking uncontrollably, frothing at the mouth, and thrashing about wildly. Many consider these fits special gifts from the gods, during which the afflicted is experiencing intimate communion with the ruler's powers. Should the character ever declare that he is using an infamy point to reroll a failed test, and then fail on the roll, he is struck by a seizure and stunned for 1d10 rounds. When he awakens, however, he does not count as having used the infamy point.
Mm.
So you've got a way to recharge it, a way to not fuck up on infamy,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll stun you. So...
And I've lost Steel Heart.
You don't get to pick Steelhearted yet, because you barely got it last time with the 21.
I thought that was the Chaos organ that I barely got.
No, I think you got Demon Organ quite comfortably. I think that was the one just above it. Oh, no, yeah, you can't get Chaos, you can't get Demon Organ. So yeah, you can get Steelheart, Blessed Fits, or Boneless.
I'll probably go for the Steel Heart on this one then.
Okay, Steelhearted. You treat all fear as one lower, which is very good, by the way. Fear can really fuck you up in this game. Fear can kill you, for reference in this game, so...
Okay, and am I rolling one more?
Oh, no, because you got 2 mutations, because you hit 30.
Alright, I thought it was one per thing. So, okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, it's one per level. If you were I think if you were a normal person, you'd get another one.
Right.
But these basically go off of what you are. It's a way that normal humans get a slight advantage over Space Marines, because they can get more mutations, which can bring them on par with Space Marines, essentially.
Okay.
Some of these, as you might have imagined, are pretty powerful. Like the Furious Charge, just for free. That's like a tier 3 perk, I think, that you just get for free. So, these could be quite scary. And yeah, the Burning Body one for Khorne, obviously with 2d10 damage in one. Literally anything unarmed attacks you, that includes like natural weapons, by the way.
Yeah.
So, you get attacked by a freaking Amble, which is basically a 40k Umber Hulk. Anytime it hits you, it's taking 2d10 fire damage. Which is a lot, as you've seen the health bars and things. And it matters. Particularly since any dice you roll a 10 on automatically does at minimum 1 damage. At hard minimum, even bypassing resistances and stuff. Because it's a Furious Wrath, basically.
Right.
Or whatever the hell it's called in this particular version of the game. Okay, so that is that. You have a suit of power armor, so I believe another thing that needs rolling will be your power armor's trait. Because basically, yeah, your power armor gets stuff.
Yeah.
Essentially, because obviously, actually, yeah, let's do equipment first, just to like ease this in. So basically, everything on your equipment section, write that in, basically.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do Bob's stuff as well, then.
Yeah, that's what I'm checking. Yeah, Bob, where are you up to?
Put in all my checked all my things, put all my talents in, traits in,
Okay.
and I think I've only got like one extra. I put the talent thing in, but I've not got the description for it. It's before, what was it? Word before unbridled strength.
Unbridled.
Don't know how you pronounce that.
Unbridled strength was a thing. It was
yeah,
unnatural strength.
No, it's the one before. It's the AMPH. Whatever the word says.
One moment. Is this in the
starting traits?
Starting trait for adapters of Astartes?
Oh, amphibious.
Amphibious.
Yeah.
Yeah, amphibious means you
Okay.
can breathe underwater.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, amphibious and natural
Right.
strength 4 and natural toughness 4.
So just
Put them all in
Yeah.
individually. Yeah, you can put a natural strength in both cases if you like. It is important that you put 4 on them just so that it knows what level it is, because as you just saw with Ben, there's a chance you can get a higher natural strength or toughness if you get if you say roll corruption, get demon organ, right?
right. So we're adding those ones into talents as well. The
Oh no, those are traits. Those 2 are traits.
yeah, we're adding them into traits.
Yeah.
Where do I put the power armor?
It is your armor, so put it into equipment. It's in gear. I can't help but notice, Bob, that you've put trait. You put your talents into traits, by the way, buddy, as well.
Hmm?
You've put your talents into traits.
Have I put them the wrong way around?
Yes.
It's because the fucking
It's fine. Talents and traits is easy to miss. It's easy to fuck up, don't worry. Yeah, you
does
put
that
them on the way
start
around.
goes at
It's
that
fine.
goes starting
For
talent,
now,
one?
yeah, all the traits you've put are talents, and all the talents you've got are traits. But it's fine. We'll fix it afterwards. Basically, for now, just put them in the other way around. So all your traits, put them in talents, and you can fix them in the other time if you want. Yeah, you don't actually need to put a description in. I was saying you can put the description in like anytime you like. I advise giving the rules just a look over, because most of it is like, oh, this is fairly normal. Like, I'm amphibious. Oh, I can breathe underwater for a bit. It's fine. In case you go through water, you don't have to worry about it. You're also in power armor, which can seal, so it's really not a problem for you. Like, you can go into the vacuum of space in power armor and be fine. So
So I just need to switch these around once.
yeah, don't do it now. Do it afterwards. Basically. Now you need to put in the ones you've got from Plague Marine as well. And these ones you actually get to pick some things. So.
Okay.
Not a lot, thankfully, for Plague Marine, actually. Or at least in skills, you don't have to. You have to pick a bit for talents, but... yeah. You don't give up?
Yeah, I'm looking for the. I've got Plague Marine.
Yeah, you get the extra skills. These are on top of your normal ones, by the way. Plus 10 to awareness, which is basically the second dot.
Sure. Plus 10 awareness.
Yeah. If you look on the Plague Marine page,
Yep, I'm on it.
you can see it has extra starting skills. It's just starting skills. And it gives you awareness plus 10. That is the second dot, basically. So you see you've got awareness with 1 dot on the far right. In
Awareness?
skills. In skills.
Right.
You see
Yeah.
awareness. Put the next dot in. If you see a plus 10, it's the second dot.
This?
Yep. Perfect. It basically, it's plus 0, plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, essentially.
Mm.
And that's the highest
Right,
it can get to.
Common lore, any one.
You get to pick one. Just type any, and you can look them up later if you want.
Okay.
There is a list of common laws somewhere in the book, but it would take a very long time to find all of them and like figure it out.
I've got like 3
Yeah, common law,
to
any
choose from.
forbidden
from
law.
Forbidden.
Yeah, you get demonology or heresy or psychers. You get to pick. Demonology is, as you might imagine, lore about demons. Could come in handy. Heresy is like weird. It's like people more. It's like the other cultists basically. And psychers is psychers. It's exactly what you think it is. Considering because you're a plague marine, there's a good chance you could have psychers. Because Mortarion obviously has beasts with psychers, so it's not a bad one.
We're also probably going to have there.
We're gonna have a psyker, yeah. Which also might could be either way, because the psyker I think gets law psyker just outright. So
I'm gonna go demonology.
not bad. Type in demonology in forbidden law. And yeah, in your common law, just type other and then tick the one box, and you can just go whenever and just pick one. I think that's what you did, isn't it, Ben? You just picked other and you'll look it up some other day.
Yeah.
Just easier. These books are a good read as well. You get a lot of lore and stuff in them. Most of it's old lore, I will say, because these are very old books at this point, but most of it's still true. Just wait, as everything that says current events is a bit out of date. So I don't know what year these books originally came out in, but it's a while ago. Yeah, these books came out so long ago, the Necrons weren't fully out yet when they came out. Actually, no, not these ones, apparently. The Black Crusade ones are a little bit more recent. Apparently.
I copied a little too much.
You don't have to copy-paste things.
It's the easier way to do it.
It's not.
For me.
Yeah, I copy pasted everything.
What have you done?
There we go. That's better. Less of a fucking. I copied more of the page in it I wanted to, because when you're highlighting some of the boxes in the darker text, it doesn't actually show you what you're highlighting. Plus 10 to. Plus 10 to parry and plus.
Plus 10 to intimidate and plus 10 to parry, yeah.
Alright. Don't think I have intimidate on the thing yet.
No, but you just immediately got 2 levels of it.
Alright.
As I said, remember, the Alpha Legionnaire got plus 30 deception from character creation. Which is the max you can have. They were very good at lying.
And I have another one to dodge. Is it?
No, you have dodge outright for being a Space Marine. You have 2 levels in Intimidate and 2 levels in Parry. Because Plague Marines are tanky, but they're not very good at dodging. So they have to kind of be okay at parrying. Not that you're guaranteed to use that plus 10 parry, because a lot of...
parry.
Yeah, it is in...
That's it.
It's down a little bit.
Parry. There we go. So another tick to the parry.
Yep, you got plus 10.
Alright. Starting talent.
Yep. Which these talents, you've put all your talents in traits so far. So, if you want extra work of copy-pasting later, you can do that. It's fine as long as you remember it, basically. That's the important bit, to be honest. So if you want to put all of them in. A lot of these are ores, by the way.
Yeah. And, you know, the difference between these first two?
You can look them up later if it's an or one and you don't want to worry about it right now. They're both, most of your ones, I believe.
Ancient Warrior or
Die
Die
Hard.
Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard is, it helps you. It's toughness stuff. Most of your stuff is toughness stuff.
Okay.
Not in every
Bolt
case.
or-
There's a lot of gun stuff in there as well.
I've got Bolt or Drill.
Yeah, basically,
Exotic.
you can, if you want, what a decent way of doing it would be, write them all in, but write the this or this in a single one, and then you can look through later and decide which one you want to cross out, basically. Just remember to do it before session, the actual, we do this. Which I don't know when we're going to do this. So...
Okay. Well, I was telling Chad it might be the Tuesday or something.
I don't know, I've literally gone, this is a, whenever people want it, I can get some time to run it. I'll get some stuff written up for it, probably over the weekend in case, but...
These are to be in talents.
Yes, these are actual talents. Which, yeah. Consider you've got those ones. If they are talents, you can put them in talents, but currently all your talents are in traits, so if you want to do that, you can. If you want to just have them the other way around. But...
I will put these in talents, because it was just the way it was thing we did in the other one. Formatted another one, just like it put in at first, and it appears that way.
To be fair, these are, someone made these character sheets. It's the character sheet's fault, not the book. Because I've seen the other characters, the official ones are set in the other order. So... Okay, while Bob is doing the 200-odd talents and traits from Plague Marine, Ben, are you done putting in your equipment?
Don't know. Think so, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. You put all the stuff from Chaos Space Marine. Have you put all the stuff from Night Lord in as well?
Oh, no.
Yeah. I see you have a Melter Bomb. Melter Bombs are scary. Melter Bombs are incredibly scary, actually.
Yeah, that's stuff from the Night Lords as well.
Yeah.
I was just putting in the actual things.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I'm assuming the type is rending for the combat knife, because it doesn't actually say that in the thing.
Yeah, I believe it's rending. Yeah. Usually, if it's a sharp weapon, it's rending.
Is that what the R means?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. I'm smart.
Yeah. I believe there's rending, impact, energy, and I think there's another one.
Yeah, because I've... X for explosive, yeah. I'm
explosive,
smart.
that's the other one, yeah.
I'm smart. The bolt pistol I don't think actually had the thing.
I believe bolt pistol is also rending. I believe bolt guns are rending in general. The glory of typing, like the search.
Oh, no, Legion bolt pistol is explosive.
Oh, the explosive fair. They are rocket launchers, so. Yeah, bolt weapons are, best way to call them, automatic rocket launchers. Or semi-automatic rocket launchers, depending on which version of it is. But, they're scary. Oh, yeah, that was the thing, yeah. They're explosive damage, but they have tearing. That was the bit that I was getting mixed up. Because tearing's usually on rending weapons. I love tearing. It's one of my favourite abilities. I believe it's basically you re-roll the damage dice. And, like, you roll 2 dice for the damage dice and pick the highest, I believe is what tearing is. It's really good. It's usually on chain weapons, which are my favourite weapons in 40k. I'm a big fan of bolt weapons and chain weapons. As anybody who knows knows much about the Legion, I like best's famous for, because they're famous for chain axes.
Mm-hmm.
Which anyone who's played Dark Crusade, Darktide. Anyone who's played Darktide knows how much fun a chain axe is to use. Oh, by the way, Ben, I believe your character has Operate Aeronautica? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That includes jetpacks, which is why they have it. It's exactly what you think it is. It's non-void aircrafts, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But it also applies for jetpacks, which is what Night Lords are known for.
Okay.
So that will probably be on the table of equipment to get if you particularly want to go. If you want a jetpack, I'll give you a jetpack.
Yeah.
Because it's very well known for Night Lords to have raptors.
Just trying to find the stats for the Legion Chainsword.
They are in the melee weapons section, which is what page? I'm at 150 odd at the moment, which I think is range weapons. No, range weapons is higher up than melee weapons. Okay, so melee weapons might be lower.
Because even just like control effing for it doesn't really bring it up.
Yeah. That's exotic range weapons. Okay, chain weapons. Yeah, melee weapons are page 164.
164.
Yeah, has the melee weapons page. There are also melee weapons in the splat books as well. So if anything particularly catches your eye in the splat books, as long as it's not an exotic weapon, you can use it because you're a space marine. Oh yeah, you can't use... Oh, yeah. Force weapons are Psyker only as well, I believe.
Okay.
So you can't use exotic weapons, you can't use force weapons. Everything else you can use. Because I believe that is what Legion weapon training is, basically. Is you can use any normal weapon. Or any weapon that has Legion written on it. At least. Which also... Any weapon that has Legion written on it, and any weapon... from the, like, power weapons list, I believe, that doesn't say human. So say if Bob wanted to use a power scythe, which is very Death Guard, which is who the Plague Marines are, they're Death Guard, yes, that's on the table. Though I think, personally, Bob would probably go with I believe Man Reapers are the Death Guard specific power scythes, which I believe are just better. So... which are in the Nurgle book. Yeah, Man Reaper is in the Nurgle book, and it's crazy. Which, because it's a one-shot, if you don't want any other crazy pieces of equipment, I'd probably allow a Man Reaper. Bob, for reference.
Oh, what the hell? He starts with a plague knife, 3 light grenades, and 2 Legion grenades.
Yeah. You also get all the starting equipment from the Astartes as well. If you go... The Astartes page on 48 has all your starting equipment.
Yeah.
As well.
You
get that on...
bolter pistol or a bolter...
Yeah. You get Legion power armor just outright. In the case of both of yours, it's very different looking for each, because, which is a point we actually have to do. We have to give you each, your power armors basically get a bonus. If it's actual power armor from the Legions, basically. You get to pick a few bonuses for it, and you get a specific unique upgrade. Okay, yeah. Page... If anyone wants to look at this, this is a lot of shit, right? So, because you have power armor, the bottom of page 174, and the left side, like all the way through page 175 to the left-hand side of 176, all of that is appropriate for your gear. You'll want to pick out some subsystems. Legion power armor gets more, and you get some unique ones as well. Right?
How confused are you already, Ben?
Yes.
Yep. It's fine. Basically, page 174 to 176, you have Legion power armor. Just read through that at some point and pick your subsystems. You get a number of them, it says in there, on those pages. But the important thing, there's one thing which we have to do now, actually, before that has happened. You have custom power armor each, because you are, actual... Well, you're probably in your original power armors, right? So your power armor will have a unique trait. This is on page 176. There's a power armor customization, right?
On the...
In the core rulebook.
Core.
Yeah. You will roll a d10. For me, please. 6. Ooh, you get chain bandoliers. Several lengths of chain wrap around the body of the armor, providing additional protection from melee strikes. Any non-power field melee attack that hits the body must test to see if it is damaged, as if being parried by a power weapon. That's just a trait your armor has. For free.
Cool.
I will post it in chat. If you would like, just so I can...
I've got it on the thing.
Perfect. Yeah, that is in addition to any subsystems you have, by the way. That is just a free...
Where do I need to put that? Into sheet or...
I guess call it a trait. It's technically a trait, I suppose. But it's on your power armor, so just type in it's on the power armor, basically. And Bob, roll me a d10. What the hell?
I'm gonna ask.
1.
1.
Scavenged reconstruction. This suit of armor has been rebuilt from the power armor of loyal space marines. It may have been repaired in the wearer's chosen heraldry, but the icons and markings are still visible, although probably defaced. When dealing with other Adeptus Astartes, both loyal and traitor, you gain +10 to all infamy, intimidate, or command tests. Non-traitor legionnaires must re-roll the result. You are actually a traitor legionnaire, so it works.
Oh, are we wanting this in traits or?
That is a trait, yeah. But type it in power armor, and then write that, basically. Write that. Put that whole section in. Power armor, scavenged reconstruction. Literally, your armor is piecemeal, basically. Which is going to be very, very weird for a Plague Marine, because your armor looks like it's rotting anyway. But, fuck it. There's like an Ultramarines logo somewhere on you, or something. Crossed out. With the 3 circles replacing it. There's a bunch of subsystems power armor gets. They're all good. The Legion ones are particularly good. The Legion ones are things like your chest piece has 10 armor instead of 8. There's things like Toxic doesn't really work on you very much, which is very, very good, considering you've already got resistance to it. You can't starve to death in it. Oh yeah, you can use ranged weapons. You can use basic ranged weapons one-handed is one of the upgrades. So like a bolt gun, you can use it one-handed is one of the upgrades you could get for your power armor. I don't remember how many you get for power armor subsystems. I know Legion has more options. There are literally options which are only available to Legion power armor. Yeah, this is in addition to a lot of other things that it does, by the way. So power armor gives you like plus 20 to your strength, right? While it's being worn, it has a power pack. Yeah. Your power armor is so bulky, you get a -10 penalty when not using equipment designed to be used with power armor. So basically anything that's not Legion. Or Legion-esque. Like, anything that's not a Space Marine piece of equipment, basically. Oh yeah, non-Legion range weapons can't be used with Legion power armor.
Alright.
Because you're very large.
No, that makes sense.
Like, a person in power armor is big, right? A Space Marine in power armor is huge. For instance, in this game, because you're Space Marines, you're technically size effectively large, right? You're what would be considered size large. But because you're Black Carapace, you don't count as size large for the negatives.
Okay.
That's what it does, basically. It lets you use the power armor better, so you don't get all the negatives you'd expect of being a 9.5-foot hulk of muscle and bone, essentially. Wearing a suit, wearing effectively a tank. So, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So look through them at some point. Now you have, you get 7,000 XP. You guys are not getting any extra XP on top of that. Because you are the highest baseline starting level characters you can get.
Where does XP go?
There is a XP thing somewhere. Oh yeah, you guys are technically size hulking, by the way. Because if you see there's size on there, above armor and defense, you are technically hulking.
Okay.
XP...
Oh, it's on
there!
advancements, yeah.
That's where it goes. And there's a bunch of stuff you can basically buy with XP.
Okay.
Bob, for reference, you are automatically aligned with Nurgle off the bat, which this matters for the XP purchase.
I've put XP to spend total XP, 7,000. Give me 1,400 or 14,000 total.
Ignore that.
Okay.
One moment, I'll save.
The size is hulking.
There it is. Okay, it's not in total XP because you have. I guess total XP is spent XP. I guess. Yeah, your size
Maybe.
hulking. Yeah, I'd assume so because it just fixed it when I just deleted total XP.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's just relabeled wrong and it's supposed to be spent XP. But yes, you are size hulking and. Okay, so page. Okay, there's a few bits and bobs, but the important pages are... Where the fuck is it? I know it's in here somewhere. Okay. There is... Page 92 is gaining skills, and it'll say what all the skills are. Right. Oh, page 93 is a better one for it, okay? Go to page 93. In the core rulebook. Is everybody there?
Nearly.
Bob, you can continue on if you want with your bit. If you're still writing things in.
I'm changing some of the things over quickly now.
Cool. Okay.
Alright, skill list.
Yeah. You'll see that it obviously has the skills. It'll have the characteristics associated with. Then it'll have an alignment. Alright?
Okay.
Everything in this game has a alignment of sorts. Each of those alignments, basically, for each of these things that you have, will push you slightly further towards one of the Chaos Gods.
Okay.
If you go over a certain threshold, you will be aligned with that Chaos God. Your one, I don't think, forces you to be unaligned at the end of it. Bob's is. But it might say somewhere.
So do I like tally those up or something?
You can, but I think Night Lords are probably forced to be... Yeah, Night Lords begin players unaligned, so you don't get to change those, basically. So your alignment is always unaligned, as long as character creation is going. If this was a campaign, you could change. Bob can't change, because I'm pretty sure if he ever changes a legion, he just dies. Because he is a Plague Marine. The cult legions are a bit more strict on their stuff. But you don't get the problems. There is also page 115, which has the tier 1 talents, and there's, if you scroll the next few pages, there's the multiple tiers of talent. They're exactly what you think they are. There's a list of what the talents all do in there. But the big one is that you can buy these, and I'll find the list of how much they cost, because I know there's a page that has the alignment chart on it, essentially. Because you two don't have to worry about the alignment each. Well, actually, no. Ben doesn't have to worry about alignment at all. You are undivided, which means nothing's going to be super expensive, but nothing's going to be super cheap. Right? Here it is. The pages that we need are... effectively, I'll get to the first page of it, because that's important. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, you don't have 7,000. I thought that was higher than we went through last time. You have a significantly lower amount. You have 500. Oh, it might have been 7,000 was the, Yeah, I think 7,000 might have been the state of play if you're playing with a character that's not one of you guys, essentially. While you are in the game. Yeah, you get 500 XP. That's much more normal of what I was expecting.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, in the book, there is a... on page 75, you'll see allies and opponents. Right? At the bottom of the page. These are how cheap things are each. So basically, Khorne gets on well with Nurgle. Hates Slaanesh and hates Tzeentch. Because Slaanesh is Khorne's arch enemy. Khorne hates Slaanesh more than anyone. And Khorne doesn't like that Tzeentch uses magic. Right? Nurgle likes Khorne, doesn't like Slash or Tzeentch. And it goes the same way the other way around, right? So Slash and Tzeentch get on quite well. Tzeentch and Nurgle hate each other and the whole shebang. And if you go into the next page after that, you'll see which things are aligned with each god. And which ones are unaligned. Right? In your case, Ben, it doesn't particularly matter because you're allied with all of them because you're unaligned.
Fair enough.
So
I'll just
everything...
quickly nip to the toilet.
Sure. But for you, Bob, if you get anything off of page 76 that is from Slanesh or Tzeentch, you're going to be paying more points for, more XP for it, basically.
Okay.
If you get something from Khorne, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. Not super cheap, but a little bit cheaper. And if you get something from Nurgle, it's dirt cheap.
Okay.
Is the easy way to think of it. There are characteristics so you can increase your stats. There is a way to do that on the actual sheet easier. This making sense so far, Bob?
Blah,
That is an answer.
Somewhat. I am currently adding in the name Legion Power Armor to gear.
Yeah.
I am currently going through the gear. You haven't even done the mutations for me.
I
It's
know.
like, what?
We can do mutations now if you like.
Yeah, I'll get my mind off the whole sort of what the
Yeah.
hell is I'm doing with the armor and
So,
gear.
let's get to, I'll type in blessings.
What was it? What am I rolling?
Well, you actually have a choice first, and that depends on what you get. Because you are a Nurgle follower, so you get to pick between the generic blessings, or you can pick specifically Nurgle blessings. Which depends on what table you're rolling on, essentially. So, do you want... You've got two upgrades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both are equally as good as each other. Nurgle ones might be just a bit more tailored to what you're after. That's about it, as far as it goes. But not necessarily.
I'll go Nurgle Blessings.
For both of them? Or do you want to go 1-1?
Yeah, let's go 1-1.
You absolutely have the option. Okay. So, you're going... Let's do the Nurgle one first. So, roll me a D100.
0-0.
Yep.
96.
Well, that one is so obscenely high that you can't adjust this one. Because the Nurgle ones, as you might imagine, they're harder to adjust. The god-specific ones, but this one's very funny, by the way.
Okay.
You have a Nurgling infestation.
A Nurgling infestation?
Yep.
So this
The characters... This is a mutation, so go on to the advancements page. And you see it in mutations. Oh, wait, I just realized I did them wrong. Ah, well, you're getting some extra. You're getting to 30 corruption. I'll just start you both at 30 corruption.
Alright, go advantage. The corruption. Okay.
I just set you both to 30 corruption because I realized I fucked up slightly. It's fine. You guys are starting a higher corruption. I think there is an amount of corruption I'm supposed to increase you to anyway. It's fine. Right, so the character's skin stretches and writhes as loathsome shapes gestate beneath the surface. Soon after, the shapes become boils and then seeping pustules from which tiny nurglings are hatched. These tiny creatures live in the recesses of the character's body, finding warmth and sustenance in the most unlikely of places. They are fiercely loyal to their host and fight viciously to defend their home from attack. Once per combat, the character may spill his distended guts, and in doing so, instantly summon a number of nurglings equal to his toughness bonus.
So Nurglings.
Nurgling infestation is your mutation. You see the adding beneath mutations. Ignore the WS, BS, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just add that there, and literally write Nurgling infestation. Which is, you literally could just summon a swarm of tiny little blob men. They're effectively like malicious Pikmins.
I'm not sure if any of that is spelled correctly, but...
It's not in any way, but it's close enough.
Yes.
Infestation. Infestation, you've put there. And Nuggling.
They can be nuggling in fast action.
Yeah. So your second one, you want a normal one. That's an interesting one. You get 5 nurg. Actually, is your toughness bonus or toughness? Toughness bonus, you get 9 nurglings.
I get 9 nurglings.
Yeah, once per combat, you can summon 9 tiny demons. Okay, do you want to go on the normal tree now, right? So, roll me a D100, please. This one's easy to adjust because you've got 3.
Not question mark. 76.
76. Okay, I've got to be honest, this one's very appropriate off the bat. Do you want... The one you rolled is grossly fat, which for a Death Guard is perfect. You can adjust that down to projectile attack or pervasive miasma, or you can increase that up to Slayer Limb or barely get Strange Voice.
What's a Slayer Limb?
Slayer Limb. I think I remember this one. I think this is the really fuck-off murder claw. Slayer Limb. One of the character's limbs fuses with his weapon. Oh, it's that one. Yeah. Either one he already owns or a new weapon granted as part of the gift. The limb becomes a twisted mass of metal and flesh, mechanisms and muscles flowing together while blood vessels and ammunition feeds become as one. Any trigger mechanism the character has before is bypassed and it operates with but a thought. The character's metabolism hybridizes with the working of the weapon. The two become one, such that it can even derive power or ammunition from his body. The player must choose one weapon carried by his character to become fused with his body. The weapon conjoins with a single limb of the player's choice, replacing it from the elbow, the equivalent joint down, and therefore replacing any hands. The weapon may be of any type and henceforth never requires reloading or any other type of maintenance. If the character is aligned with a god, the weapon may gain additional qualities if it does not already have them. Nurgle, toxic one. Because the only one that matters for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll take that one.
Wait, we haven't heard the others yet. That is an option. Okay.
Okay.
So that
Where's the other
is
one?
Slayer Limb. Strange Voice is on the table. I don't think you want this one, so I'll go through this one first. Slayer Limb's pretty good.
Yeah.
Strange Voice. The character's vocal cords are twisted and distorted as chaos ebbs and flows through his body. A lucky few find their voices have become deep and resounding, while the less fortunate are left sounding like a grot with cranial distemper, or merely incomprehensible. More likely, a character may find his voice fluctuates depending on the situation. At the beginning of the game session, roll a d10. If the result is 4 or lower, the character gains +10 to intimidate skill tests, but suffers a -10 to stealth tests. If the result is 5 or higher, the character suffers a -20 to all interaction tests. These effects last until the end of the game session. That's one option.
It would go it go from normal voice to
More like this,
Or you can crank it to the other end.
uh,
The other end, the high pitched version.
wait.
Yeah, that. Exactly. The other ones are projectile attack.
Let's use them.
Which I believe I know what this one is. Yeah, I know what this one is. The character is gifted with the ability to summon forth a stream of unreal matter brewed from the raw stuff of chaos. The stream is generally projected from the recipient's mouth, and the exact nature is a matter. Nature this matter assumes upon leaving the character's body varies enormously. The character may make a standard attack half action to unleash a projectile attack with the following profile: range 10 meters, rate of fire S, single shot only, damage 1d10 plus 5, penetration 3, spray smoke. Obviously, the character may not make this attack if he's wearing an enclosed helmet. And it changes depending on what your god is. Korn, you get dragon breath. It turns into a sheet of raging fire. The attack gains flame. You don't have Korn, so it's not that. I'll go through the others before the Nurgle one, because the Nurgle one's very funny. Slanesh, the stream of matter twists and writhes as incorporeal limbs entwine the victim. You literally spew hands at people. The attack gains the shocking quality. Zinch, the character vomits the raw stuff of the warp itself. The attack gains the warp weapon quality. You literally puke a black hole at them.
Oh, God, warped.
Nurgle, the nature of the substance spewing forth from this character's innards is best left unsaid. The attack gains the toxic quality.
I just barf on them.
You literally projectile vomit. There's pervasive miasma. Is the other one. Oh, this one's purely bad. The drastic imbalance of the character's humours brought about the prolonged exposure of the baleful energies of the warp causes him the surroundings to creeping noxious stench of brimstone and corruption. Or in your case, probably severely eggs. When the character fails a stealth test, he gains an additional degree of failure. That's just bad. So the last one is grossly fat, which I believe is the Death Guard one, effectively. Where are you? Which I think grossly fat is a double-edged sword one. Yeah. The character's flesh swells and distorts, muscle turning into blubber before his very eyes and expanding until he is 2 or 3 times his previous mass. The character permanently loses 1d10 plus 10 agility and 1d10 plus 2 fellowship, but does permanently gain 1d10 toughness and the size hulking trait if he doesn't already have it. So you would gain another toughness, probably. But you would lose up to 20 agility and up to 12 fellowship.
Yeah.
For instance, that would take you to over 60 toughness, which is kind of crazy, and would support another Nurgling, by the way. When you did that.
Just Nurgling swarm. Go! But no, I like the idea
like
of
the
the
Slayer
weapon.
limb? Cool. Slayer limb. Which arm do you not want to have anymore, and what do you want to fuse it with? Or do you want to, like, go through the weapons list and pick something?
I think we start with, what, a bolter and a...
You do, but I'm fine giving you extra weapons, because it literally says it can spawn one.
Okay.
If you want something
Where's the
nurgly,
weapons list?
like an example, there's the weapons list in the Plague Book, if you like, if you want something very nurgly, which has some fun ones.
We'll look in the Plague Book then. Oh, wrong one, that's...
Oh yeah, you can't do it to a grenade, by the way. Just as a heads up, you can't turn your hand into a grenade. It is technically a weapon.
I think that would be a good thing. I don't think that'd definitely not be a good thing. Where are the weapons? What page?
Oh, the Man Reaper's a demon weapon. Actually, yeah, apparently this book... Yeah, this book only has exotic weapons, so we probably couldn't do it to one of those in the Plague book. So let's just do it to the normal book.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 120. No, that's the Terra page. I know why that page was in my brain, because I think I had to quick search that a lot. Was it 150? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, if you want, you could get something like a shotgun would be on the table, a Legion shotgun. An autocannon. Do you want an artillery piece as an arm? A heavy bolter. A Legion heavy bolter's on the table. A melter gun. I'll give you a melter gun for a hand. Plasma weaponry is on the table. Heavy flamers. You can obviously have your normal bolt gun if you want. There are melee weapons. Actually, was it melee weapons? The Slayer limb? No, it was, because it mentioned ammunition, so it can't be that. I won't let you have a noise marine, any of the noise marine weapons. I'm not letting you have a noise marine weapon because you're Nurgly. You can have any of the melee weapons as well. Do you want a chain fist? Legion power axe. Legion power weapons are good.
Legion. So Legion plasma pistol.
Get a plasma cannon if you want, for reference. By the way, you can upgrade it from pistol.
Okay.
Pistols can be used in combat, though, which is not bad.
I think I'd probably be using the knife or something in close combat. The cannon's more for...
Yeah. It would mean if you took the 2-weapon fighter from, thing. You're going to get a better weapon than your Plague Knife. The Plague Knife's not great. I will say that as a fact. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It is a knife. It's just a very poisonous knife.
I think plasma cannon plague.
Well, I'll give you a toxic plasma cannon is on the table.
Yeah, I'll go with toxic plasma cannon.
Okay. Then put yourself a Legion plasma cannon. Oh, you're going to kill yourself with it. It's going to be very funny.
Oh yeah, because it's got a...
It's got hazard. Oh, it's funny. Do it. It's content.
Where's Legion?
Oh, it's just plasma cannon, apparently. It's not even Legion plasma cannon. Oh, it makes sense, actually. It's an artillery. It's a heavy weapon, so it doesn't need to put Legion on it because they're always built for that. Yeah, plasma cannon is very, very big. It's a very big gun. And yeah, the other crazy part about that is that it is a... for you specifically, it's a one-handed weapon.
Alright, so... that would go in gear?
Yes, and you would have to put... That is your arm now. Basically. You have to put Slayer weapon on it. So it doesn't need ammo. Which is pretty fun. The hell is Maximal? I've never seen Maximal. I've never seen anyone use a plasma weapon, to be fair, in this game. So... what does Maximal do?
What is it class? What did you say it was my...
One of your arms pick left or right. Actually, no, wait a minute. I have to pick for... you have to roll a dice for that, don't you?
Yeah, no, you said what's it called again?
Oh, plasma cannon.
And then, what was the trait that was?
Oh, toxic 1. It's slightly poisonous, which is kind of mitigated by the fact that it's a plasma cannon, so most things it connect with will be turned into a slug. Or a smear on the floor. Or a hole in the floor, probably.
And that would be, what was the mutation called?
Slayer weapon. Oh, Slayer Limb. Sorry. Which is a mutation, so you have to put it in the mutations list.
Just putting it in the actual for the weapon thing is this Slayer weapon.
Yeah, it is a Slayer weapon, so it has those traits basically. Yeah, does it? It says. Oh no, it is of the player's choice. Wait.
What?
Give me a sec.
You overpowered me.
No, this is fine. I also didn't do it. This is entirely RNG. I don't get a say in this. This is funny. Yeah, I'm reading that correctly. Do you want to random roll the limb, or do you want to,
I could have a plasma cannon leg.
Yes. Because I just read it. I just read it straight up. Do you want to random roll it, or do you want to pick?
Yeah, I'm going for plasma cannon leg, and it's
Okay.
gonna be the fucking left.
Left leg. Your left leg is a plasma
he
cannon.
just goes. "Ugh." He's just like a pirate now.
Boom! Yeah, it starts
Oh,
from your
God.
knee down is a plasma cannon. A poisonous
just-
plasma cannon.
I mean, it'd be funny if it was the knee up.
It would be very funny. No, I just want to check something as well. Because this thing has a replacement limb system for random roll. I want to check if I'm correct in my thoughts. But I
What
don't
was the
think it's
mutation called again?
Slayer Limb. Okay, this particular game is not like the other one. You couldn't have gotten head on the random roll option. For reference, this game has 3 different random tables. It has random limb table, which for reference has right arm, right hand fingers, left arm, left hand fingers, right leg, right foot, right foot, toes, left leg, left foot, toes. That's all the limb options.
Hey, this gives a very good explanation for why my guy's so slow to dodge. He's got a pirate leg.
He's got a pirate leg, but the pirate leg is an infinite ammo delete button, which is poisonous. See, Toxic 1 is the most irrelevant thing to get a plasma cannon. It's like, I'm going to pour salt in the wound of this rocket launcher, essentially.
Yes.
It's like adding barbs to your, like, high X round. To, like, armor piercing round. It doesn't matter. Still funny, though. Still funny, though.
This character is just turning into fucking hell yeah.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be a wandering, bumbling poop with
Oh.
a fucking cannon for a leg.
Yeah, it was the one, by the way. You know the one you got, Grossly Fat? The Rewards of Nurgle has its own bigger version of that.
Okay.
Which means you cannot run, ever. You can only walk forever, everywhere, but you turn to size enormous and gain +5 wounds. It's named Corpulent Immensity.
Yeah, I think I roll very well. I've got a
Slaylim's
little
good.
army of little demons and fucking cannon leg.
You can puke up tiny demons and got a free plasma cannon.
Oi, you. Go deal with that.
It doesn't need to reload as well, by the way.
Yep.
And it's an AoE weapon. Be very careful, by the way, because that's one of the few things that can one-shot a Space Marine comfortably.
I just feel like this guy
Ben,
is
by the way,
definitely...
I realised I fucked up the corruption things. You guys were supposed to start with less corruption, but I went, fuck it, you're starting with higher. So you both have
Okay.
30 corruption now.
This,
His mutations are fun.
he's just a yo-ho the pirate left for me.
Plasma cannon leg. Jeez.
But yes,
yeah.
I've also forgotten what it was you said to look for me to look at. So
So have I. No, it's fine.
it was the skill list and traits or something,
Oh, yes, that was it.
or talents.
Yeah.
God.
I'll get to the talent. Oh yeah, you have 5. Did you get the? You have 500 XP, not 7,000, which I thought was like.
All right.
Yeah, you have less to spend. But...
Okay.
It's basically any character that's not one of you guys. If it was like a benchmark human cultist, would get like 7,500 experience to make them on par with you. I'm pretty sure is what it is.
Okay.
Because you guys get a bunch off the bat. Like you're very front loaded. Yeah. So for buying talents and stuff, you basically, since you are always, you have to start undivided. You can't like change alignments partway through. Character creation. Everything is going to cost the.
Well, it does say that I have to stay unaligned. It says I begin play as unaligned.
Yeah, that means you're staying online for character creation specifically.
Right. Gotcha.
It means if we were in the actual thing, if you gain upgrades in game, you could shift one way or the other.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that does happen. That happened in the actual other session. Someone shifted to alignment corn partway through the session. But yes, there is a page somewhere where it shows how much it costs for each talent and thing and what their alignments are. Which mostly matters for Bob because certain things become very expensive, others become very cheap. Oh, yeah, talents. Talents page 1 is 115. Tier 1, 2, and 3 talents, which is the only tiers. You can also buy characteristic upgrades potentially, which increase your stat. That is what the you know where it says under each of your skill, under your stats, it says none, 0. If you say open one of these up, it'll say simple, intermediate, trained, proficient, expert.
Alright.
You would put it up, if you basically got a characteristic upgrade for those, that's where you'd put it. You'd put it to the tier above, and it would do it, because you can only upgrade each stat a certain number of times.
Okay.
Because we're doing a one-shot, that will effectively not matter. But if you want to buy a characteristic upgrade for 1... Hey, thank you. Thanks, Bob, for the sub. It's greatly appreciated, bud.
Oh, they got a sub, baby.
Yeah! Twitch, baby. Interesting enough, I've actually got a new, I've got a new alert. If anyone gets to 12 months, it does a different alert from the Wolf Howl. And onwards. 12 months and onwards on the subscriptions have a different announcement. The Wolf is only the first year. And the follow. If you're after that, you're getting the upgraded one. But yeah, there's the talents, which obviously are all pretty good. Which you can look through in your own time. There are characteristic upgrades, which are very, very nice because they increase a stat. Any stat that's like on a 5 or above, they're the only ones that's really worth getting stat upgrades for, right? Because we're in a one-shot session, you're not going to get more. Well, you might mutate further in the session. I don't know.
Mutate.
You might, genuinely. One character became a demon host and gained like almost max corruption immediately. So, but I've got to find the fucking page that has costs on it. Oh yeah, each page has a different one. So talent advancement costs are on page 78. For you, Ben, everything is allied. Bob, for you, it's, I think, Undivided and Khorne are allied. Yeah, Undivided and Khorne are allied, and Nurgle is true. So you get a discount on anything on the Nurgle list, which is page 76, has the lists of all of them and what alignment each of them has. So you get a slight discount on those, and a price increase on opposed, right? There's characteristic. Each of these, I really wish they had the advancement things all on the same page. They don't. Skill advances and characteristic advancements are on page 77 for their costs. For reference, if you have 1 dot in the skill, it's known. If you have 2 dots, it's trained. 3 dots, it's experience. 4 dots, it's veteran. Right?
Yeah.
Nurgle as opposed to Slanesh and Zeech.
Yeah, so
Allied
anything
with-
off of the Slanesh or Zeech list is going to cost you more XP than
Allied
something
with
off of the Nurgle list.
Khorne and
Undivided.
So it's 500 XP that we've got, not 7,000.
You've got
yeah?
500, yeah. I guess the total XP would technically be 7,500 for an business, essentially. But it doesn't matter because it's bugged out, the character sheets.
Mhm.
These are the best character sheets I could find. I remember that being at the time. They're not ideal, though. But yeah, if you want to get, say, a characteristic increase, obviously, each of the Chaos Gods has a characteristic that's their specialty. Khorne is strength, Nurgle is toughness, Slanesh is fellowship, Tzeentch is willpower. It's why being a Nurgle sorcerer kinda sucks. Because if you're a sorcerer, you want willpower upgrades. Because willpower is the psychostat. If you're a Nurgle sorcerer, you're opposed to Tzeentch.
Mhm.
So it costs you more to get your stat upgraded. Which is a thing. But Nurgle sorcerers are pretty good because they're usually good in a fight as well, and Nurgle powers are crazy. So, all Chaos powers are crazy, to be honest, because that's the whole point. You're using demonic magic. It's not supposed to be safe. But yeah, it means that the for you, Bob, the Slash and Tzeentch stuff is very expensive. You're probably only able to buy, like, 1. Probably. If you get Nurgle stuff's very cheap.
Mhm.
Yeah, characteristic is... yeah, as you might notice as well, the characteristics have simple, intermediate, trained, and expert as their things, and they have totals for that. They are just put up slightly different because they're characteristics. So you can increase your stats, that is fine. Bob, your character's got a lot of encouragement to get toughness increases and ballistic skill increases would be my advice. So you consider you got a plasma cannon now.
Yeah.
So ranged attacky stuff is going to be pretty good. For you, Ben, honestly, you've kind of looks like you've built weapon skill.
Mm-hmm.
At close quarters, so yeah, strength, toughness, both good. Weapon skill, very good. Maybe agility is good. And I'll give you guys... Each, I'll give you the equivalent of 1 very rare item each. That's for free. Now, the thing that it goes for gear... It goes up in tiers, I believe. I believe it's 117, something like that, wasn't it? Nope, that's not it. Weapons. $147, that was it. Yeah, okay. So, you'll see that if you look at the weapon sheets and things, weapons and armor and stuff, they have a availability, right? First weapons tier is 154, by the way.
I was still looking at the talents thing.
It's fine. It's just because we're getting close to where it normally would end. So, gotta tell you the one thing that I gotta tell you, I'm pretty sure before the end, essentially. But yeah, I believe it goes in difficulty. I'll just check to see if I'm right. God, where the hell is it?
Harpoon gun.
Maybe harpoon gun. You're too big to use a harpoon gun, unfortunately. Okay, 305 is apparently the acquire equipment. You don't have to worry about that, I do. For that one. 305. Okay. Okay, so the list, basically, of acquisition is ubiquitous, abundant, plentiful, common, average, scarce, rare, very rare, extremely rare, near unique, unique. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the availability is said next to the weapon or piece of gear.
Okay.
In the case of you, Ben, if you want to just get a jump pack, just grab a jump pack. If that is more than very rare, grab the jump pack. But that will be your budget essentially for free gear.
Okay.
But basically, I think the cheapest, most easy thing to get in the game is common, usually, right? So I will give it, because I've allowed you very rare. It's either you can buy 1 very rare, 2 rares, 3 scarce, 4 average, 5 commons, right? For equipment.
Mm.
And I'm fine with that. Just whatever gear you need for that. If it's less than common, if it literally says plentiful, abundant, or ubiquitous, just take however many you want. I don't care. They are literally that common that you can buy one from the corner shop level common. So you
And
might
what
actually.
page is that again? Sorry.
Hmm?
Which page is that?
The any gear basically. It is 1 very rare, but you can split that down into 2 rares, 3 scarces, 4 averages, 5 commons, and you get infinite of any plentiful, abundant, or ubiquitous items, basically. I'll post it in the chat, to be honest. Just for ease. In the Roll20 chat, just because then you guys can look it up here. And you get a free jetpack because Night Lord. And I've never actually seen anyone use the jetpack before, so I wanna see it happen.
A gun.
Yep. You've already got a plasma cannon, you really don't need a melter gun. Plasma cannons are AoE, melters are single target, but they fill similar roles to each other. Melters hit a bit harder, but plasmas are AoE and can kill you, and usually have longer range. Melters is basically a lava cannon for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Hence the name Melta.
Yeah. There you go. You can do any denomination equivalent, right? So... Oh yeah, just for ease for me.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a combo of jump pack and grav shoot.
Yeah, I'm allowing that. Grab shoot makes sense. The grab shooter basically just means you don't take full damage if memory serves.
Yeah. So if like something happens to the jump pack, because I'm assuming it can break.
It can, I think. I think you can.
Targeted.
I think you can fuck up a flight check. I think is how you do it.
Yeah.
You might run out of fuel, but it's unlikely. Yeah, I just put no demon weapons. If you somehow manage to find a demon weapon that's very rare or lower, no. Demon weapons require a lot of stuff, essentially. Like, they're definitely gettable, but if you were to get a demon weapon, I'd have allowed it in the stuff we've already rolled, essentially. And then I'd have thought about it. But... And, yeah. I think that's at least the basics of the character creation. Thankfully, you guys have not actually rolled any of the crazy difficult ones. Apart from Bob, that is mean I'm going to have to look up the Nurgling summoning rules. Which is about as far as it's going to get complication-wise. I'm basically just going to go... They spawn from you and will attack things nearby, but aren't under your command, essentially. But they're not going to attack your allies. Right?
No.
I'll do it as that. And it just means I have to find the Nurgling, which... Hell, it might be in the main book. One moment. Nurgling. Is there a Nurgling stat block in this book? No. One moment. I recommend anybody look up Nurglings. Not while you're eating. Oh, that reminds me, by the way, because obviously you guys are advanced classes as well. On the character creation bit for you, Ben, Night Lord, for Bob, Plague Marine, there are you each have special abilities that are unique to your classes.
I've already that added in.
Cool. Bob, make sure you do that as well, basically.
On
Plague Marine, it'll have, like, special abilities. Make sure you write that down.
Okay.
I'm going to see what a Nurgling stat line is, which is going to be very funny, because they're essentially... They're effectively the gremlins from Gremlin. But worse in every way.
I'm guessing I'm
Oh, it's a
looking for.
Nurgling Swarm.
All right. When looking at the melee weapons, I want Legion. One's not the.
Yes. You want Legion, I believe melee weapon isn't too bad for you, because I think it's range weapons you just physically can't use. But the Legion ones are usually better. For nearly every case, because they're bigger, is the main thing. Like, Legion weapons are built for a Space Marine, anything else is built for a human, usually. But not in every
Unfortunately,
case.
most of them are extremely rare.
Yes. It's why if you look at the very rare stuff, you get very rare stuff that is good, but if you're getting higher than very rare, you usually to expect things like, this is the weapon of a Chaos Lord, or an elite. You are technically elite, but by the ranks of elite, you're elite by what you are. In your own Legion ranks, you're just a random spot. You are crazy powerful compared to normal followers of Chaos.
Because you can get very rare power fist for human, and power blades for very rare.
Yeah. Well, Power Fist is one of the scariest weapons in the entire game. So.
Yeah. Dagger.
Ignore everything exotic would be my advice, because you can't use them. So.
Yeah, and looking at some of the.
Chain Dagger, yeah, is rare. Okay, you start with a Legion chain weapon, so. Actually, you don't specifically, I don't think, Bob. You start with a Plague Knife. Is Plague Knife in here?
Yeah.
Where's the Plague Knife in Tome of Decay? It's not a terrible weapon, it's just... It is a sidearm, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to find sort of a decent other melee weapon. Because you start with like a bolter pistol and.
Oh, actually, no.
But-
No, correction. A Plague Knife is good for one reason. It's not got great damage, but it's got Armor Pen 2, which is not bad. It's 1d10 rending damage, which is meh. Plus Strength. It also has Toxic 3, which most Nurgle stuff does, and Felling 4. Now, Felling ignores unnatural toughness, which makes it good. So a Plague Knife is going to ignore the toughness from you, right? Because you have natural toughness 4, it ignores that amount of toughness. That's what Felling does. Felling is very, very scary. Because usually the ways to kill Marines or monster type things is either hit it so obscenely hard with a weapon, like that has a crazy, crazy damage numbers, like a plasma cannon or a power fist or something like that, or have something with Felling. Because Felling ignores the bonus.
I suppose a Legion shotgun might not be a bad one.
Not terrible, yeah. You have a shotgun for close range and a plasma cannon for long?
I mean, I've just got a bolt gun and the chain axe or chainsaw.
Chain sword, I believe you start with.
Yeah.
Like, if either one of you were a world eater, I would do the. I mean, they are common chain axes for them, so I'd allow you to switch out your chainsaw for a chain axe or something like that if you wanted. But with your guys, it's fairly like normal gear, honestly, because you get given some of the weirder shit. Like, Bob has blight grenades, which are crazy rare on their own. Hey, remember, Bob, you also have all the starting gear from normal Space Marine, which is a lot. Which has, where is it? Yeah, you have a knife as well. You have a normal knife as well as a plague knife. Plague knife's just better, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad weapon. It is not a bad weapon, the knife that you've got. Also, remember, for anybody that's not a Space Marine, that knife is a machete. Essentially. It's a machete with super tetanus on it. So... among other things. But you have a bolter or bolt pistol, whichever one you want. Bolt pistol, bear in mind, you can use in combat.
Yeah.
So, a bolt gun, which is what the bolter is better all round at range. But I doubt you'll have a problem at range unless they're in, like, medium range. So, because you've got a plasma cannon with unlimited ammo. So.
Yeah, but no, the scene of me just standing there with one leg pointing at them, going, "Fire!"
It could be pointed at them off the bat, like how Chaos mutations work really weirdly. It could literally be pointing out of the front of your shin.
Just like to think that
Boom!
picks his leg up and goes, "Fire!"
Exactly, it could be. I don't know. Chaos is weird like that.
I've just got, he's now a pirate in my head. It's nothing that's going to change it now.
It could be a renegade. That's Space Marine pirates do exist. So.
Had a very piratical upbringing, and now it's just there.
Upbringing. No, not upbringing. You're a Space Marine. You don't have an upbringing.
He liked pirates, now it's stuck with him.
No, you could generally be serving under a renegade lord. Like, there is a thing. There are effectively Space Marine pirates. So, you genuinely could. That is a thing. In fact, if you both want to, that is one of the options I could go. I probably am gonna go. You're working for a renegade Marines, and you're just both like mercenaries. Because you're both veterans of the Long War, so. But yeah, I think that's all that we immediately need to do. You obviously need to pick your own power armor stuff. Oh no, there's one more random roll which needs to happen first. Bob.
What?
Roll me a d5. Two. Ah, convenient. You also have 20 health, 20 wounds.
Any wounds?
Yeah, it says wounds in next to armor and defense.
Armor and defense.
You'll say wounds. Total and current, you have 20 because Plague Marines have base 18 plus a D5. Because Plague Marines are tanky. Plague Marines have the highest starting health you can have in this game. Potentially. With 23. Technically higher with 28 if you get, like, the Nurgle mutation. Yeah. You also have 20 currently, Bob, as well, by the way. You're not injured in any way. And yeah, we can do armor and stuff some other time. Because you have to pick your own power armor upgrades, and one of them does actually change your armor value. So, we can deal with that some other time. Possibly in your own time. Do poke me if you need any help with anything, though. And we can have a chat.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because I'm running to the bathroom, and we are past 9 o'clock. So,
Yeah.
probably should be calling it. So, yeah, this has been character creation, or at least the first bit of character creation. If we have any other people as well, because I don't know when we're doing this. This was a thing to do today, and I'm down. I'm always down to play more 40Ks, TTRPGs, because they are very fun. They're hard to get into, but when you get into them, it's like, oh, it's a lot simpler. It's actually way simpler to play.
Yeah, I was just saying to my girlfriend, like, I can make a D&D character in like 5 minutes, but this is taking like hours.
Yeah, it takes a while. There's the Black Crusade's particularly long as well because it's very different. Dark Heresy, you can bang them out a lot quicker if you know what you're doing. Dark Heresy, one of the fun parts is you can technically random roll your character completely.
Okay.
Because that's how the character creation works. It's got, like, planet of origin, class, and background. Determine your character. You can completely random roll them. Because there's so many options for each one. Which would be fun for a fuck around one shot, I think, at some point. But we're doing Chaos. And Chaos is fun. It's my faction, so I'm always happy. But yeah, if you need my help, just give me a poke at some point. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Essentially.
Sounds right.
But yes, that is all we've got time for today. As I say, I don't know when this one shot will be, but it will be at some point in the future, possibly if we get another missed day from Chris. I might grab a couple of people. It's like, do more character creation stuff, and we can walk through more stuff. And just have a fuck around and chat. And then do another one. And do the actual session after that. So. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Have a fantastic evening, everyone who keep playing with keep awesome, you guys. All the best for Twitch. Thank you, Ben and Bob, for joining me
Suffering.
for suffering through this with me.
Blow it up.
Yeah. But yeah. See you around. Good night. Enjoy your weekends, guys.
Bye.
Bye.